after tea. England 168 for 5. And they will glory in greatness should they get this down to 2 figures fairly soon. But I think Chris Wokes has batted absolutely beautifully so far. 26 off 26 balls, a couple of drives that were no more than pushes. It was the placement and the timing that was so good, and the ball would scorch away over the outfield.
That ball to Pope though. Ooh.
Oh, well, exactly. But I think this is what has brought about this approach from England. Wide on the crease, Mohamed Abbas. Ooh, and Wokes has a little bit of a feel for that outside the off stump, hoping, I guess, England that the break for tea has not disrupted their flow, because they really were flowing just before tea.
It did last time for Butler.
Sure did. When Naseem Shah got him just after the break, didn't he, with one that didn't turn, just went through the gate as he played for turn. 168 for 5. Wokes just outside his crease, taking his guard, and Abbas is in again, and he's onto the front foot, defending it straight back to the bowler. That is the end of the first over after tea. England need 109 more to win. Wokes has 26 and Butler has 33. Nestlers.
You're on mute, Nestlers.
Nestlers, you're muted. Oh, we can't hear a word from him. I don't know why you're muted, but you are. Perhaps you muted yourself after the after that argument about golf.
You look like a Muppet.
Nigel Jonah Henderson returns. Doom, says Jay Rowan.
Shadab Khan bowled an over just before tea. He bowled one earlier this morning. He bowled in 1 over spells. He's going to get a bit longer now. He's going to be asked to do a bit of bowling for Pakistan. You remember that Naseem Shah, I think, bowled unchanged from one end during that second session. Anyway, Shadab is in, bowls to Butler. Butler is right forward to ball. He's pitching around about Midland leg, looking to turn it back across Butler, maybe find the edge, or maybe nip the off bail. Azhar Ali.
Wish I could see this cricket.
I know.
It's a full toss. It's driven up to long off by Butler. I did think that they went very much on the defensive, didn't they, Pakistan, at one point in that last 15 or 20 minutes before tea. It was almost as if they were allowing Butler the single. They were that afraid of Butler and what he promises to do.
The game was taken away from them actually by Butler and Wokes. I think they just responded very positively, both of them.
Well, they did. I'm not denying that. I just think that you almost saw Pakistan blink just a little bit with the fear of Butler and what he might do. Thrashed square on the offside by Chris Wokes this time. Naseem Shah is out on the boundary. They take 1. That is all. 170 for 5.
England have got this, haven't they?
Oh, don't do
Well
that.
done, Nestlers. Well done, Nestlers. The blood will be all yours.
For Christ's sake, what do they need? What's wrong
They
with
need 107. 107 is what they need, with 5 wickets in hand. In comes Shadab Khan. Bowls onto the back foot goes Butler. Forces through mid-off. Will take 1. Naseem Shah is posted down at long off and does the fielding. Butler moves to 35. Wokes is on 27. England 171 for 5. It's only a lot better than 117 for 5. And it looked all over for England at that point, having been 86 for 1. Once 1 wicket came, several followed in its wake.
Yeah, well, it's when Stokes is out and everyone thinks, oh dear.
Exactly. Wokes drives beautifully up to mid-off. A tumbling Naseem Shah has been brought in off the fence. Does the fielding, and they take another single. England edging up into the 170s, 172 for 5. That was the googly from Shadab, but it was met beautifully by Wokes. Right over the top of the ball, getting a good stride in. And that's the way to play leg spin. He's in again, bowls to Butler. Butler drives, trying to open his body up, and has played that really well. He's probably going to get 4 runs, is he? Oh my goodness, has it just been stopped inside the boundary? Well, Naseem Shah and Naseem Shah look at each other. Naseem says, help me up. I don't think I managed to stop that in the end, although it looked as if he did. So Butler grabs another boundary. This is good for England. 176 for 5. They need 101 to win.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary, crossing a boundary.
Exciting stuff. It's been a great test match. It's swung way, it's swung the other. There may
So
be a
brilliant.
couple more swings before the end of the game.
All the test matches recently have been so up and down, and just as there should be, some real good spells of batting and then some real country bowling. It's just been great.
It has. Mohammad Abbas will continue. He, in one sense, is the danger man. He's the most difficult of the Pakistan bowlers to get away. And he bowls very accurately, very straight. If you make the slightest miscalculation, you can be bowled, you can be LBW. And he's going to be bowling to Chris Wokes on 28. He's got one wide slip and a gully. He bowls to Wokes, and Wokes is forward in defence, playing it down to Mohammad Abbas's left hand as he follows through. And there is no run. Any tweets, Nestlers?
There's been one or two. Let's have a look. See, this is very typical of England. Dunkirk spirit. You put yourself on the sodding beach, says Neymar Butler.
We need Dunk Fletcher spirit, that's what we need. Not Dunkirk spirit. Anyway. Wokes again. Going wide on the crease, Mohammad Abbas. Oh, and he just again has a little flirt at that outside the off stump. I'm not really sure what he was trying to do with that. Maybe just dab it down to third man. But he made no contact. And Rizwan did the work behind the stumps. I like Rizwan. He's a very cheery looking folk. He really is. And we're just focusing on Wahab Riaz, who's in a yellow, fetching yellow t-shirt and jeans. And one or two others in the squad who've not made it onto the field. Here is Mohammad Abbas again. He's in his 13th over. Again, quite wide on the crease. Driven slightly on the up by Chris Wokes, but it's cut off at extra cover by Babar Azam. And there is no run.
Ravi Nair says the 3 stages of guerrillas on air. The rebels fight with all authority. Number 2, the comfy ones fight with their tweeters. Number 3, the club cricketers drop from their 11s, fight amongst themselves.
Well, I think the best thing to do now as a cricketer is just not play, then you can't be dropped. Which is the way I approach things. Here comes
Very sensible.
Mohammad Abbas in now to Wokes, and Wokes drives, comes off a thick outside edge, will run down towards third man, well, certainly backward point, deep backward point, and he'll take another single. He goes to 29. England need 100 more to win. They've made 177 for their first 5 wickets. They only need to make another 100 for the remaining 5 wickets. Can they do it? History says no. The Bear says yes, because the Bear is the eternal optimist.
Pirate Badshaw.
No. Right.
Oh. You sound like you're miles away.
You do. I don't know what's happened with your sound again. Have you
She's
are you sitting on the
lounging
floor
all
now?
around the
I'm
place.
sitting on the floor, that's
Yeah,
why.
that's why.
That's better.
Jeez Christ.
Goodness
It's
me.
too hot up there.
Can't get the stop. Mohammad
Lounging
Abbas into Butler, who pushes this off the back foot square, and again he'll take a single to Shah Masood out there on the cover boundary. Butler into the 40s, 40 from 40 deliveries. Chris Wokes 29 from 34. 1 ball remaining in Mohammad Abbas is over. And it's come down to double figures. 99 required. 99.
No. Well,
Here,
Pirate-
I'll burn now instead.
Oh, I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Sorry.
Mohammad Abbas offers him a slower one outside off stump, but Wokes picks it and dabs it away through square cover. Yes, that was just 66 miles an hour, so it was about 12 or 13 miles an hour under what Abbas normally unleashes. That is the end of the over. Wokes kept the strike. He's 179 for 5.
Pirate Badshaw. I've got cricket, you lot, on the radio, live cycling on the TV. This Saturday is disturbingly normal compared to recent times. Aside from Kildare Offland Laush, I can never say that, being back in lockdown. Jay Grover, I think Pakistan are serving Butler dross in the cricket equivalent of a pity fuck. Hang on, don't tell the good doctor that, he'd run with it.
Well, It's Shadab Khan to continue. 3 overs, none for 14. He's got a forward short leg. He's got a slip. Those are the only close fielders. And he's coming in to bowl to Wokes. And Wokes is forward and beaten by one that turns. Doesn't turn significantly. It turns enough to get past the outside edge. It doesn't turn so much that there's no hope of catching the outside edge. So that was a very good ball. And Wokes was feeling for it, but couldn't lay bat upon it. Shadab in again. That's a nice big full toss, and he's whacked it over the top of mid-on. I'm not sure he's timed it that well. They're going to get 2 as it's Shaheen Afridi has raced round from deep mid-wicket and claws it back from the boundary edge, and they settle for a couple.
Steve Gellett says England will get achingly close and then be blown away by the second new ball. It's the hope that hurts.
Oh yes, we've got to look out for the second new ball. How many overs have we had? I'll tell you in a moment when it comes up on screen. And it isn't coming up on screen at the moment. They need 96 more to win. 181 for 5. And Wokes is on to 32. Shadab in again, bowls to Wokes. Wokes cleverly just clips that away for a single into the onside. The man at mid-on comes round to field. And they take the 1. Wokes 33, Butler 40, England 182 for 5.
I'm going to just have to leave for a minute. I'll come back straight away.
Okay.
I just have a computer issue.
Okay, Shadab in flatter, shorter, and whipped away off the back foot this time by Butler. Shaheen Afridi is at deep mid-wicket. He does the fielding. They take another single, and England move to 183 for 5. They need 94 more runs to win. I think we should be alerting people on Twitter that this game is really bubbling up into an absolute cracker. That's to say, even although throughout it's been a bit of a cracker. Thrown up, and Wokes drills it straight. Shadab tries to stop it, can't, ends up being fielded by mid-on, and there is no run. Yeah, go on.
I've got this vision of the winning runs being hit by Chris Broad.
Chris Broad, that'd be brilliant.
Sorry, Stuart Broad. Because the swivel pool 6.
Ooh. Shadab in again, bowls and square driven. In fact, not as square as he intended it, I don't think. It went in the end to extra cover from the middle of Wokes' bat. That is the end of the over. 183 for 5, 94 to win. Nestlers.
Pratt says Annie should dual task and while commentating grow tomatoes. Strange Carrots says my Dutch family still don't get why this is tense. What's the problem? They still have a whole day to go, yes? Why is cricket difficult for people who don't understand cricket? And I apologise to your Dutch family for my appalling Dutch.
Oh, it was good. It was good. It wasn't quite up there with Billy Connolly from Grubby the other night, or British Colony as I called him by mistake.
British Colony.
British Connolly. British Colony. I don't know what's going through my head at that point. Slip in a gully for Mohamed Abbas, who starts his 3rd over after tea. Running in to bowl to Butler. It's outside the off stump. He forces off the back foot. Gonna have to hurry. Could be in trouble here. The ball bounced up nicely from the fielder who was running from gully, Shadab Khan. And he had some ground to make up there. He was a little bit slow setting off. He just hesitated for a moment. And yeah, that could have been trouble. It wasn't actually that accurate a throw. Shaheen Afridi did well to back it up at mid-on. Butler has another single. England 184 for 5, 93 to win. And we got some crowd noise back, which I haven't heard for a while. But that's all well and good because there is no crowd. So that's about 10 backroom staff making a little bit of noise. And Mohamed Abbas will continue bowling to Wokes. Same field. He's in again, wide on the crease. Wokes defends on the front foot towards extra cover. I think when they went out there and decided to play a few shots, they probably thought that the game had gone. But they've now put themselves in a position where the game is back on again. And that brings its own pressure in its own way.
Yeah.
So it really is getting tense. That's what you can tell your family in the Netherlands. That's why it's so exciting. It's because there are highly skilled bowlers bowling. There are highly skilled batsmen in different ways. As Mohamed Abbas comes in, bowls, turned away by Wokes. and Yasir Shah has to dive at mid-wicket to get anything on that ball. The ball ran away from his control, and they thought about a single just for a moment.
They don't.
Probably was wise not to.
They don't need to think about a single if it's doubtful at the moment.
Absolutely not. I mean, they can certainly
Just
take
leave
their
it.
time. But that said, they may prefer to play shots because they do think that there is a ball out there that has your name upon it.
Play the shot, but don't faff around if the fielder's faffing around, if you know what I mean.
Never run on his misfield. We were taught that, weren't we? Here comes Mohamed Abbas again, very wide on the crease. Seems to be operating from wide on the crease. A man who normally gets in really close to the stumps is now just having a go at making the angle a little bit more difficult, perhaps, or even just different more than difficult.
I was sneaky. I used to fake misfields.
Ah, you were one of those.
Yeah, I got really good at it. I could see the ball. Can't fake this. And the amount of times it worked.
Yeah. I wouldn't have liked it if I'd been playing against you. Mohamed Abbas in again. Now he's back close to the umpire, and this is beautifully driven. But they've got their field right now. They've got a man at extra, a man at mid-off, and that's where most of Wokes' shots are going at the moment. And so England remain on 184 for 5. Mohamed Abbas, 1 ball remaining in his 14th over, has 1 for 28.
One of the batsmen once had a go at me, and my captain walked over to him and just went, "You fucking run on it, you knob," which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, no sympathy out there. No sympathy.
Absolutely.
Wokes knuckles down, waits for Mohamed Abbas, who does go wide on the crease again and bowls a bouncer, which is not something you get very often from Mohamed Abbas, and it's easily evaded by Chris Wokes. That's the end of the over. England remain on 184 for 5. Wokes 33, Butler 42, and Annie is back.
And Leah the Wicked Witch is back. Hendo just said the England versus Pakistan match broadcast Geo Block 3 on Gorilla Cricket is bubbling up. Just letting you know so you can give it a listen. Carry on. Prophet Mohabit says, I want this game to end by today. Advantage England.
I think it will end today, one way or the other. I'm not sure how many actual overs, if we're to count them, that we have left. I'd have to go on to Cricket Info to find that particular piece of information.
Jay Grover got out of bed and yelled, "This is fucking mint," to the lads painting the windows. "I'm doing my bit, Oix," he said.
Very good. Change of bowling. Shadab Khan comes off, and Naseem Shah is back into the attack.
When Naseem Shah left home, he said to his dad that you're the man of the house now, because Naseem Shah is just that good.
And he encourages Joss Butler to have a horrible away from the body flirt outside the off stump. I was waiting just for Mohammad Rizwan to collect that and launch an almighty appeal, but fortunately for Joss Butler and for England supporters, he has made no contact. How many overs remaining? 35 minimum, 36 overs, including this one, are alleged to be bowled tonight, should it go that far. And England will be creeping if they still haven't got to the total and they're still out there. Naseem Shah in again onto the back foot, just holding the shot, checking the shot there, Butler. Wonder whether he was thinking initially of a pull and then thought better of it.
StrangeParrots.com said my Dutch accent was bloody awful. It was a good Sean Connery though, but that's bad really. You see, I spent 13 years working for ABN AMRO.
Yeah, well you obviously didn't pick up enough, did you? Maybe you should have spent more time in Amsterdam.
I spent quite a lot of time there.
Okay.
Doing fuck all. Great.
Yeah, I can imagine it's quite an exciting city. Naseem bowls, and Butler covers up in defence, plays it back to him, and scratches at his mark, trying to focus, trying to stay within his bubble.
I could be the only person on the planet who must have gone to Amsterdam well over 200 times. I'll break off.
What? That's a lot of travelling to Amsterdam.
Oh, sorry, I thought there was cricket. And never ever saw or even found the red light district in Amsterdam. I couldn't tell you where it was. I went, no idea.
I've wandered through it many years ago, briefly in an afternoon. Naseem Shah in again, bowls to Butler. Butler defends, going back. Ball runs to Yasir Shah at extra, and there is
Well,
no run.
Jersey Oaks come on, but he's not saying his normal thing, but he is saying this is merely a false hope. The collapse is only just around the corner.
Yeah, I know, Josie, I do. I understand where you're coming from, totally.
Come on, where's the bear? I want some positivity. Come on, bear.
Bears.
Walk in a park, boys. Walk in a park.
Thank you.
Park. Is that what you're going to do when England have been bowled out? Shah again, Naseem Shah. Up to the wicket, past the umpire, bowls. Oh, and he has been pulled through mid-wicket this time by Butler. I think he was planning to do that a couple of balls earlier, and it's a really good shot. There's a man running around the boundary from well away at deep mid-wicket, Shan Masood. He couldn't get there, even though he put in the dive. It's being also chased by Shaheen Afridi. But well done, Josh Butler, 4 runs. Every boundary is massively important. Every boundary raises the confidence of the England players. It puts a little dent in the confidence of the Pakistani bowlers and fielders. Naseem in to bowl final ball, obviously 11th over. He's in outside the off stump, won't be tempted. Josh Butler leaves that alone, shoulders arms. End of the over, 188 for 5. England need 89 more to win. We're still waiting for Annie to come back. She had to go out and come back in again because she couldn't hear us. But we're hoping to have her back on the air before too long. Nestlers.
Woy Pom says, I see another Gorilla Cricket turncoat will be on TMS for the 2nd and 3rd tests. Well, I can't imagine who that is. Hendo, have you got a gig with the BBC?
No, funnily enough. Strangely enough. I know who you to refer to. I did realise that he was going to be doing that. I did ask him if he wanted to come on, but he was waiting to hear from the paymasters at the Beeb.
That's all right. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Of course.
When they defund it, though,
he
won't get
he bowls a terrible wide delivery there, but Wokes throws everything at it and could have thrown his wicket away with that shot, but he's lucky enough to get away with that. Just needs to focus a little bit more. Saw something wide, which is not something you see often from Mohammad Abbas, but it might have been deliberate. He might have thrown it out there to see if he could tempt him.
There's no need to play that at that shot.
No, there isn't. I'm joining you because Annie, I don't know, Annie's in the meeting room, but her video and sound are off.
Turned off. Yes, well, we're trying to get her back in, but we shall see how long it takes. In comes Mohammad Abbas, again wide on the crease, bowling to Wokes. Wokes plays that with the angle out towards deep square leg, and they take another single. He goes to 34. Butler on 46. Can Butler go to his 50? And how sad would it be were Annie not in the virtual world to celebrate a Josh 50? Maybe that's put the mockers on him. I hope not. He's one scoring shot away. Pakistan are unhappy with the shape of the ball, but it's been put in. Richard Kettleborough is more than satisfied.
Don't worry about personal milestones. Fuck all that.
Exactly.
88 runs.
I know. That said, it will mean that Butler has scored 50s in his last 2 tests.
Yeah, but
I know what you're saying, Nestlers.
I'm getting into his head. I'm trying to get it out of his head.
He's probably not thinking about it that much. He flicks this one away. Beautiful timing off his hip. Out to Abid Ali again, being kept busy on the deep square leg boundary.
Well, I just poked Wokes in the face on my screen on my monitor.
Why did you buy what? Just to tell him to do the job?
Not play those stupid shots.
Don't you dare do that. You were sort of flicking your finger at him.
I poked him.
Oh, you poked him. You
Poked him in
actually
the
poked
face.
him. Right. Okay. Well, we'll see what effect that has had, because he's about to face the next delivery from Mohammad Abbas. I keep wanting to say Zahir Abbas for some reason, because he was one of my favourite batsmen as a kid. In is Mohammad Abbas. It's a full ball and it's whipped away. A good shot by Wokes. There's a diving figure at mid-on who can't lay anything on it. Azhar Ali looks concerned. Wokes looks happy. And England are on to 194 for 5.
It's Naseem Shah. It's Naseem Shah.
Definitely got to get the bulk of this done with this old ball, haven't they?
Yep.
Absolutely. When is the new ball? I didn't see how many overs have been bowled. Let me have a look.
While you're doing that, Silvery Beams has just been told off for putting both AirPods in on a train journey. Gorilla Cricket, nice to be with you in body, if not in spirit.
Okay. Here comes Mohammed Abbas into Chris Wokes, and Wokes defends on the front foot, a ball on the line of off stump, and it's fielded at extra cover. England have only faced 60 overs, so there's still 20 overs to go before a new ball can be taken, and they need now 83. So on the basis that they could do it go along about 4 and over, that would be fine. They wouldn't have to worry about the new ball.
Typically, the red light district comment has sparked Twitter into life. Funny that.
Final ball of Mohammed's over, and checks his shot a little bit there, Wokes, as he looked to go on the drive on the onside. The ball runs up to mid-on, and there is no run. That is the end of the over. England are 194 for 5.
Colin Rosenthal, the only time I ever walked through the red light district in Amsterdam, I was with my girlfriend, both of my sisters, my mother's elderly female travelling companion. I still wake up in cold sweats.
Did you know you were about to walk through it though, Colin?
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe not. Just came upon you, as it were.
Pirate Badshaw says, how can you miss Dvolan? It's right in the centre. I've missed it, you know. Mike Michael Wood says, for what it's worth, he lives in Amsterdam and been going to the red light district about 3 times. The only thing it's got going for it are Chinese restaurants. Jay Grove says, can't beat that, Nestle, but I've been to Amsterdam for 2 long weekends. I did not get drunk or stoned and went to lots of galleries and museums. Yeah, it's a lovely city for that. You know.
Naseem starts a new over, bowling to Jos Butler. He's in, he bowls, Butler defends to extra cover. Naseem Shah, who will surely get a go again before too long, does the fielding. Misbar ul Haq is up there on the balcony. He's getting a little bit fidgety. The Pakistan's chief selector and coach, just clapping to try and encourage his boys out there on the park.
And he's back.
And he is back. And she's been filmed from a different angle.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm on my iPad now because my other computer's it's not liking the hot weather.
Ah, right. There's a lot of us like that. Butler has played that out square on the offside. Run the first one quickly, trying to put pressure on Abid Ali out there at deep backward point. But Abid Ali is quickly to the ball, and there is only one. 195 for 5.
I didn't want to miss. I didn't want to miss Butler getting his 50. Just
well, I was saying that while you were off air. I was thinking, will it happen?
I apologise for the bad vocal as well. I haven't got microphone or anything.
Oh, okay.
He only faced 51 balls.
Who? Butler?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been for ages.
He's a marvel. He's amazing.
Here comes Naseem into Wokes. And Wokes aims an airy drive at that one. It's beaten on the inside edge. And Mohammed Rizwan is frustrated, giving voice to that frustration as he tumbles away to his left to do the what the wicketkeeper should. He did actually pick that up really well on the half volley as it bounced a second time. Poked him in the eye again, yeah. That's what he needs. A couple of poor shots in the last couple of overs from Wokes. Just need him to calm down a little bit, not get overexcited. 38 from 51 balls. Both these batsmen faced 51 balls now. And,
I'm getting overexcited though.
Naseem is in, and that's beautifully brushed away. A gentle little cut from Chris Wokes. Abid Ali dives as he races away to his left at backward point. Naseem Shah can't quite believe it, but it's another very important 4 for England.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, really good placement. He knew there was no one down there, and if he could get it fine enough, he could get runs, and he has.
Well, I'll be in the sea with the communists, risking dabbling in hypotheticals. Joss gets a ton and England win. Is Butler's place safe?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Well, every time Ben Folkes thinks he's on the verge of getting a chance, it's snatched away from him.
I think it's safe now.
Well, it's been a good knock. It's been a very good knock from Butler so far, but you can never trust Butler not to do something silly immediately.
It adds to the tension. It
does.
To the drama.
I'm not denying that, Annie. Absolutely. There are some field changes being made. It looks to me as if Naseem Shah is going to operate from round the wicket. Maybe there's going to be some short stuff. Yeah, could be. The win viz, England edging ever up on the win viz. They're up to 47% now. Pakistan 52%. The draw is 1%.
Testy Test is missing the Bears' crack.
Really? Well, you may be the
We're
only
not.
one. No, you may be the only one. Let me get this field correct. There's a slip. There's a man at third man quite fine, and I'm not going to be able to give you the rest of it because immediately the camera focuses on Naseem Shah.
Phone's ringing.
It is indeed. And Naseem is coming in round the wicket. Is this going to be some short stuff? It is! He's chipped it in the air! He could be in trouble! Dive by Yasir Shah! It's just out of his reach! It nearly proved fatal for Chris Wokes, but he's just got away with it. England's 200 is up, and is that the bit of luck going England's way that will foretell the destiny of this particular match?
Oh, you're so poetic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was he deliberately tried to bounce him. It didn't really get up very high. Looked to me as if Chris Wokes got caught in two minds as he tried to pull it, and it just chipped up in the air, but agonisingly just out of the reach of Yasir Shah at mid-wicket. We've seen Yasir Shah flying through the air or along the ground several times in this match. He's a wholehearted fielder, but he couldn't get to that. Wokes goes to 43. England needs 77 more to win. Just the slip, just the one close fielder now. Short ball, which Butler stays leg side of as it's angled across him. And through to the keeper it goes. It's the end of the over. 200 for 5. My goodness, this is really, 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 really good.
Jay Grover, sadly, well, you're talking about his Amsterdam trip. Sadly, I looked the wrong way on the train station the last day I was there and got a cyclist colliding with me. It was my fault, all apologies, and the Dutch started screaming about my drug-crazed English bastards. For once I was innocent.
Well, it's a good job if you actually look the wrong way. It's a good job you didn't actually get hit by a tram.
Quite easy to over there. Prophet Mahabit says, I have one question. Can the umpire extend the game if he feels the game can be concluded today?
Can it go half an hour?
I think they can have another half an hour. I think they can, yes. I'm not entirely sure.
If England need 2 runs, do they just go on, bowl another over, see if you get them?
Yeah. Could be that. Well, nobody wants... I mean, the thing, actually, because they're in the bubble, it doesn't really matter. They're all going to be there anyway. That said, of course, when this test is over, the bubble is going to be moved. The bubble will be moved wholesale from Manchester to Southampton.
Depends whether they prefer Southampton or up there, Manchester.
I suppose so. I suppose so. They've been in Manchester for some time now, haven't they?
And they can't go out.
No, they can't go out and do things. That must be quite boring. You can't really let your hair down.
Which is the better hotel? That's what I want to know.
Oh, right. Well, we should ask that. That should be the most important question if we ever get hold of a player. Mohammed Abbas into Chris Wokes. Chris Wokes drive narrowly, just short of mid-off. Oh, my goodness. What are you doing, Chris? Nestle boy, are you poking him hard enough?
The idiot.
Well,
he's not reacting to my pokes.
He's not. He's not. It's very worrying.
Henry Haynes Wood, just to calm you down a bit. Is it just me? It's just me here cooking a Bagran kabata, and every time a jingle comes on, I start dancing. Nothing to do with what I'm drinking. You dance away, Henry.
Absolutely. Slip in a gully, extra cover, mid-wicket, mid-off, mid-on. In comes Mohammed Abbas, full, whipped away to that mid-wicket. Yasir Shah is almost knocked back by the force of it, but fields it well enough, and there is no run.
They've got a good zoo in Amsterdam, Jay Grover tells us. He saw the red light district by mistake while trying to find an Indonesian restaurant, which was jolly nice.
I stumbled across the Hamburg red light district by mistake on one occasion.
By mistake? I
mistake.
like this.
It was
just right, okay.
Basically, I was in a hostel that was right in it, so on a choice.
Were you part of the red light district?
No, not really.
How much were you on offer for?
Well, I was young and I was, slightly better than I am these days. This is chopped away to gully by Wokes. It was a slower ball from Mohammed Abbas, but he waited for it and played it well.
Boy Pond says, I've been to Amsterdam. I like the Van Gogh gallery. He was as cheerful as me.
Yeah, I went to the Van Gogh Museum, also the Anne Frank's Museum, which is excellent. Well, it was in 1993.
I went to the red light district.
Oh, did you? Short ball, which Wokes flinches at, but pulls quite successfully out to Abid Ali at deep square leg, and they come through for another single. England move on to 201 for 5. Butler has 48. Wokes has 44. We'll have a change at the end of this over. The bear could take you through to an England victory or a Pakistan moment of wonderment as he steps into the breach to take on ball by ball. He will be joined by some other people. No, it's Tony doing ball by ball. Sorry, and then it's Annie and the bear. There you go. Sorry,
I'm staying on, am I?
You're staying on. Sorry to upset you there, Bear. Get you excited for no reason. Defended by Butler. Back to the bowler. Bowler misses it. Goes up towards mid on.
It's all right, Hendo. I get the one after, which actually might be the time.
Yeah, you might. You were always good at commentary lottery, weren't you? You always won commentary lottery.
I was good at that.
Should we do commentary lottery on Zoom?
Oh my word, that'd be interesting.
That would be fun. Except we can't all put pounds into the into a pot, can we? That's the trouble.
Only Annie and the Bear sounds like a TV sitcom, doesn't it?
I don't know. It sounds more like sounds like one of those
Only Annie and the
country
Bear.
and western films
Only
made by
Annie and the Bear.
Clint Eastwood. Mohammed Abbas in bowls to Butler. Butler turns this away. He's going to go to 49. Is he going to get back to the second?
Butler.
No, he's not. But he is going to keep the strike because that is the end of Mohammed Abbas's 16th over. He's got figures of 1 for 36. England are 202 for 5. Wokes has 44. Butler has 49. England need 75 to win. It's over to Tony. It's over to the Bear, and it's over to Annie.
Annie,
you, Hendo.
hang on, Annie.
Yeah.
Next tweet is Leah's from 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I'm just finding it because it was on here, so I can't do it right now because I didn't realise I was staying on.
Find it.
I can try and do something and monitor shit from here.
Thanks. I'm getting there. It's all been a bit of a mare.
Yeah. The last couple of days have been a bit of a mare, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's something weird happening with stuff here too.
There is.
And I don't quite know
Naseem
what it is.
Shah.
I found where I
In
am.
comes Naseem, pulled by Butler down to deep square leg. That should be the single. That should be his 50.
Oh, let's give him a little.
Indeed, it is.
One of these.
50 runs, your 50 runs. Well done, well done, well done, well done. 50 runs, your 50 runs. The job is only just begun.
You dancing along to that jingle there, Annie?
I'm just very pleased for him.
I was about
I'm
to say
pleased
to Annie,
for
that's
him.
a very apposite jingle. The job is only just begun.
The job has only just begun. Yeah.
It won't mean a hill of beans if he doesn't see us home. 74
Half.
needed.
Half.
Naseem Shah is going to be in to
Oh, sure.
Wokes, and Wokes steps back and is able to cut this. Is there a man there? No, there isn't. It's straight to the cover boundary and it's 4 more. Curious ball that. Seemed to sort of bit sort of tennis ball bouncy, and Wokes seemed to have an age to sort of wait for it and cut it rather uppishly, but there was no man there and away it went.
Well,
now, regardless of who you support here, Pakistan or England, you are either going to be on the edge of your seat or behind your sofa. And I can't tell you who is where.
Well, we're on the front foot here, but Pakistan will know, and any bloody cricket fan knows. They get a wicket now, and they whip on bloody Naseem Shah, spinning it out of the rough. Suddenly the game looks a long way. 70 runs look a long way away. Whilst you've got two set batsmen.
One more wicket.
Yeah, well, any chance to get someone new at the crease. These guys got their eye in now. They survived for the important period after tea, so they're now back in it. But if they can break this, it's still 70 to get. You can break this stand. They've still got a very good chance of winning. Can I just mention some people on hot mic because they're not whining, but Goblin says this is as you're back on, and a man who marketed pet food. He says he gets his cat a Valentine's card each year. What does that make him?
I'll tell you, he's probably an indulgent nutritionist, as that one is driven nicely again by Wokes. I think that's all the way through extra cover. It is. It's 4 more.
He's 50.
And here's 50.
1, 2, 3, 4.
50 runs. Your 50 runs. Well done, well done. Well done, well done. 50 runs. Your 50 runs. The job is only just begun.
What a famous win I think this would be. The ground
Fantastic
saw
partnership.
Jim Laker score. Get 19 wickets. Tendulkar's first ton at the age of 17. Is it going to see something special here that none of us would have predicted? 66 is a long way to go, though. 211 for 5. Wokes on 52, Butler on 50, both rolling along at about a run a ball. Terrific partnership for England. Left, and in fact, they may just get a single there.
No.
It had Mohammed Rizwan, who leapt goalkeeper-like. I hope he hasn't done himself a damage there, because that again seemed to leap up as it does from Naseem Shah. He certainly gets it to lift, doesn't he, Annie?
Yeah.
And Rizwan, well, he just didn't quite get it. What I'm not sure about is, in all the excitement, is whether they did take a run or whether they decided to probably leave it. I suspect they decided to leave it, given that Wokes was already looking behind him. Rizwan might just have injured himself a little there, perhaps winded himself. I think he's okay. As Naseem Shah is going to be in again. Right arm over, slingy action, inside edgily away to deep mid wicket. That will get them a single. And will move Chris Wokes onto 53, Josh Butler, his partner, on 50. 50 runs with the job.
We've still got 5 wickets, you know.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You get 1 wicket. And
I know.
It's the psychology.
You get
it's the psychology,
Shah coming
nerves.
New batsman against a leg spinner is never easy, man. And, that's what I would do.
212 for 5. 65 the target. We suspect one way or the other it'll be all over tonight. Whichever way it goes, but they're shaking the shoulder.
Oh, sure.
And nobody just drops the bat on this in a way, just steers it away through mid-on. But we'll just get a single, so at least they're coming in ones. If you can't get them in boundaries, get them in ones. But keep the scoreboard ticking.
Yep.
The last thing either of these two need really is a fallow period where the bowlers get on top of them and the runs don't come.
Absolutely.
That will just crank up that scoreboard pressure, won't it, Bear?
Well, exactly. They've got to be on the front foot and take the singles and rotate the strike and make Pakistan worry. And they're starting to get a little bit fidgety, aren't they, Pakistan?
Yeah, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I thought Wokes was getting fidgety, but he seems to have calmed down a little bit.
I have some tweets if I've got time.
You do, very quickly, I think.
Leah says she's never been to the red light district of Amsterdam, but that's okay. I really don't like red light districts that much. We were talking about red light district because I've been to the one in Amsterdam.
I've been to one in Amsterdam.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things.
Most people have it, a sort of rite of passage.
Yes, absolutely.
The old Zaydike.
I better break off because we've got a new.
Well, we do. We have Yazir Shah.
Let's have a
96 this partnership, by the way, on 109, so they're closing in on another ton. Should we jingle Yazir Shah?
I am.
Oh, pet! Here comes a leg spinner. He's got a googly to admire. Fucking hell, it's Yazir Shah.
Marvellous. He's got a big smile on his face as he flicks the ball from hand to hand to get those wrists and fingers nicely supple, ready to wreak whatever damage they can. Swept, and is that an edge? No, I think that's all pad. Butler's eyes lit up, and it just had a little bit too much for him, that ball. Leapt up off the pad to the man at slip, but he got away with it. Does suggest the way he looked round rather anxiously, though he didn't know a whole lot about it. That one again is tossed up outside a leg stump. Butler does sweep and get something on it this time, but it's down to deep square layers, and just a single for him. He moves on to 52. Chris Wokes on 53 and 63. The target to win for England. Wokes retaking guard to face the teasing, taunting, tantalising leg spin of Yasir Shah. England 2-14-4-5. Yasir Shah operating from the Anderson end. Talked a lot about Jimmy Anderson and whatever he does with his career, which we think should go on, but we feel that he's got pressure on him. That end will always be his. As forward comes Wokes, just guides this gently away to cover. There's no run.
Can I just say
What's
something?
this partnership been?
96. They're
96.
closing in on a ton. Forward do it. Might be 3 now. That one is a ball on a full length though, and Wokes big front foot forward and lets the ball come onto the bat and just kind of gives it enough just to tap it down to slip. And there's no run. Yasir Shah turns again. In he comes. Well met with a big front foot again by Wokes, taking any spin out of the equation. Away to cover. No run.
At the end of the over, can I address Warren on hot mic, please?
Can you address him?
Yes.
Of course you can.
Excellent.
You most certainly can. As Yasir Shah is in, forward again comes Wokes. Yasir Shah just reaches down to field off his own bowling. It's the end of the over. Warren, make sure your ears are in tune for the bear.
Well, no, Warren just says we mentioned seems to be pretty Twitter-centric. We do try and monitor everything. It's bloody hard, mate.
I'm having issues
remote.
with the computers at the moment.
Yeah.
We think it's a combination of mainly weather, Warren. We think the extremely hot weather is causing us all kinds of technical heartaches. So we apologise for that.
But moving on to Crick Tracker, I'll just say hi to Nitin Naik, who says now less than 100, this pair should take it forward. And hello to Haram Khan as well, and Rahim Ansari.
Hello to you.
And, he also wants
I'll go to Twitter. Naaman Butlin says, would love the umpire to keep extending the match until England win. We might need to add a few more batsmen after
I was going to say.
I think I like that.
Anyway, it's going to be a change of bowling because it's Shaheen Shah Afridi. So Bear, have we got him queued up?
It's always time for Shaheen Afridi.
No, not that other guy, and Shaheen.
It's always time for Shaheen Afridi.
No, not that other guy. He used to find the ball.
Shaheen Afridi. Shaheen Afridi.
In around the wicket. On the drive comes Butler. Straight to mid-off, no run. Pakistan ringing the bowling changes. Looking for that breakthrough. Let me see. An hour and a half ago, they will have felt 100% fully on top. Now, with both these batsmen on 50 and 63 to win, it's everything we wanted, really. It's going to be a tight finish. Both sides in the game. It will definitely be a result. Another test match. Another thriller.
Could even be a tie.
It's one of the things that is vaguely possible. Bat dropped on this by Butler. Quickly taken single. Well backed up by Wokes. One less to chase. And England move on to 215 for 5.
And Warren also asked when play can go on till we think it's 7 o'clock. It was 7:08 yesterday, but that's because there was a school or something. But I believe it's 7 o'clock because we lost overs on day 1. Was it we lost overs?
We did. It was day 1, and we lost. Did we? There was a unexpected squall of rain yesterday,
Which is why
where they went off, but it was barely for any amount of time at all. We all looked out of our windows, didn't we? Couldn't we? From down here, from the soft southern south, as that one is full, looking for the Yorker, and Wokes was fully ready for it to ease it into the onside. Yeah, we all looked out of our windows from here, with the sun beating down, the record temperatures, and we thought, what's happening? They're all walking off, and lo and behold, Manchester, in its uniquely Manchester way, said, "Screw you to the rest of the country. If you're going to have all that sunshine, we're going to have a little smattering of rain." None of us expected it, but it was literally for a matter of seconds, wasn't it? Shaheen Shah Afridi's around the wicket, and forward comes Wokes. Yasir Shah is the man at cover. He's having bowled from one end, he's straight back into the fielding action, and there is no run. 215 for 5. How many overs? 64.4 overs. So the best part of 15 overs, 15 and a bit overs to the new ball. England won't want to be facing that new ball with 9 down, Annie.
No.
No.
Poor old Jimmy. Can you
No,
imagine?
God, that would
Off
be,
you go, Jimmy.
A tense
As in
finish,
comes
wouldn't
Shaheen
it?
Shah Afridi. This one is beautifully tucked away out to mid-wicket. It'll be just a single. Can you imagine? Off you go, Jimmy. 10 to win. New ball, new nut in the hands of the Pakistan attack. See what you can do, son. You and Brody, bring it home. It's all possible. All things are possible at this stage.
Yeah.
They really are.
Well, they are. That's what makes it so intriguing.
It does. It most certainly does. As I say, you know, could be behind the sofa on the edge of your seat, but you could be a fan of either side given the set of circumstances. And I'll bet you Pakistan fans, I'll hold the thought for a second, as in comes Shaheen Shah Afridi, and nicely met forward by Butler, no run. I'm sure there are the We're Doomed squad following Pakistan going, oh, it's England's, and there'll be plenty of England's fans who are so used to the collapsos for England are going,
absolutely.
oh, it's Pakistan's. It's the nature of the cricket fan, isn't it?
It's the
Assume
wonder
the
of Test cricket. I've got tweets from Reddish Ship says, does the WinViz draw percent include the tie? I don't think it does it? I don't think it ever does.
Interestingly enough, I don't think it does. I'll have a look for you. Carry on.
Steve Kellett says, the only time I went to Amsterdam involved a 12-hour layover at Schiphol, while going to Seattle to KL the long way round. I stayed airside as I was in a sleep-deprived haze. Ravi the Heavy Roller Ready says, the Heineken Museum was a significant highlight during my trip of the Netherlands in 2008. What was ridiculous was the number of times we were charged for using WCs at the pubs afterwards.
I heard Jay Grover talking about going for an Indonesian, fantastic Indonesian food in
really?
Rice staffel.
I got food
You go for a rice staffel. It's quite magnificent. And if you've, as we might say, if you've worked up enough of an appetite because you suddenly have one of those food cravings that only certain things can bring on, a rice staffel will do you the job very handsomely, let me tell you.
It's funny that Jay Grover's just saying, I went to several very good restaurants, had some jolly nice beer and saw a lot of excellent paintings in Amsterdam.
Yeah, you would. You absolutely would. The Van Gogh Museum, I heard someone talk about, is fantastic. The Rijksmuseum, if you stand and look at the night watch, it's just awe-inspiring.
Matt Wells sent us a Annie and the Bear theme tune. I'll have to have a look at that.
I think anything in the bear goes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty much true, yeah. I thought someone did a Hendo and the Bear, didn't they?
Yeah, Perko did a Hendo and the Bear.
Yeah, I thought Jeff Perkins had done a Hendo and the Bear. If you're wondering why we're talking about potential song names, it's because there is a drinks break. Not sure England would want one, really. I think they'd rather be cracking on rather than have a break in their concentration.
It gives me time to catch up on the tweets.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Jay Grover says, Annie, you're sounding like a whiny skaghead waiting for a fix. Stay grounded. Thank you, Jay Grover. Daisy Egg says, this is why Smith picked Butler. Yep.
Not yet.
Yes, yet.
Not yet. It means zero. If there's a collapso of
I'm going to carry on
clutter.
with the tweets and not argue with you. Ken McKinley says, listening in from Beer Peninsula in West Cork, can you say hi to Kiara, first time listener?
Hi,
Hello.
Kiara.
Hi, Kiara.
Welcome. Stay listening.
MJ Costa says, put these two down in ink for the next match. In fact, pre-print their names on the team sheet. Thank you.
Yes,
Yep.
in one case. Jury's out
Anna
on the other.
Forsyth says, just jumped over from the Middlesex game where Anderson almost got his maiden ton.
That reminds me of what I was going to ask you, Annie.
Helm and Souter steadying the ship. What were you going to ask?
Tom Helm come back a bit. Well, it's a bit parochial and county focused, and certainly Middlesex focused. But I don't know about Somerset, but our regular BBC commentator, the marvellous Kevin Hand, is not commentating on the feed. We've got the redoubtable and nonetheless admirable Adam Collins and Izzy Westbury, both of whom are fantastic. But to me, it just seemed a little bit sad that the voice one associates with
he's doing
so he's doing the BBC. So whatever deal the counties have got with whichever the production company is, I assume involves the production company supplying their own commentators. That precludes the BBC commentator.
We
so I
have
was
Anthony
interested to know if you
Gibson
had the same
doing
thing.
Somerset. So we've got
I think it's a shame.
we've got our
frankly.
normal one.
Oh, you do have your normal
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Well, Yasir Shah, he is going to be desperate. Tosses this up. And works again beautifully forward. It's a way to cover. There's no run. A little bit of a reset.
Do you
Might
want
have
some
just been a
county
short
scores
break.
while we're at it?
What's that?
You want some county scores?
Yeah.
Yes, maybe at the end of the over, because or maybe in between balls, because they'll come and go pretty quickly. Onto the back foot goes Wokes, cuts away through point. There's a man down there at deep point, and they will just get a single.
Worcestershire 251 for 3 after 77.4 overs, playing Glamorgan. Yorkshire 258 for 9 after 79.2 overs, just about to get a new ball there. They're playing Notts. Somerset are 166 all out, Annie.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know, but
I think she knew
Northants are 53 for 5, as Neil Franklin tells me.
61
Are
for
they?
5 now.
Wow. Yasir Shah coming around the wicket. Oh, an attempted pull by Butler. His eyes lit up again, but the bat pad and head movement couldn't cash the check that the eyes were hoping could be sorted, could be paid. So there's no run. 60 to win.
Middlesex,
Shah.
your team 239 for 7, Tone.
Yeah, not so bad. Try and get to 250. 300 to be a bonus, as that one is the bat dropped on it by Butler. They take a single, bring Wokes onto strike. 59 the target.
You had a good win last round, didn't you?
Against Surrey, yeah, the magic, as we now call him, Shane Robson, came into the attack and two absolutely filthy deliveries and got wickets with them. But nonetheless, it broke the Surrey resistance. In comes Yasir Shah. It's a pretty classic leg break, but it started from outside the off stump of Wokes and went further away.
Doesn't often bowl the googly, does he, Yasir Shah?
Doesn't bowl it that often.
Doesn't bowl it that often.
No, well, if he does, it will come as a particular surprise then. And that one was too full to know if it was an attempted googly. Don't think it was. Pushed away, another single taken. Butler back on strike. Sorry, Wokes back on strike. 58 the target.
Runs ticking down.
Squeaky bum time, man.
It really is.
You'd have to say that if Pakistan loses, they'll feel a bit. They might well feel a bit aggrieved. They're in a box seat for pretty much all of it.
We don't want any of that talk.
I know, I'm just saying.
Too early for that.
Anyway, Leicester were 199 all out. Leicestershire. Derby are 15 for 1 off 3.2 overs. Sussex are 262 for 7. Dave's team.
Good.
They're playing Kent. Gloucestershire.
Who's got the runs for Sussex, just out of interest?
I'll get back to that. I'm just going to go through the scores and then I'll click on the match. Gloucestershire 167 for 7, playing Warwickshire. Essex are 222 for 5, playing Surrey. And Durham are 159 for 7, against Lancashire. What did you want to know? Sussex. Who got the runs?
Well, hang on, hold that thought for a second, because Shaheen Shah Afridi is up to the stumps, left arm around the wicket. Nicely played by Wokes, who just waits for it and angles the bat to steer it down to third man. It's another single. England are doing it in ones.
That's fine.
Annie, I know you've got a calculator of a mind. If they just no, but well, you might have. I don't know. But if they were to go at 6 and over, does that negate the need for the new ball? Yeah, because 10-6 is a 60. And there's more than 10 overs. I've answered the question
You didn't
myself.
even give me a chance to answer.
No, I know. Just your presence inspired me to answer my own question. Yes, it's the answer. 220 for 5. Well, there you go, you see. So we're now at the point where England could do this comfortably with ones and twos. But is that how Butler and Wokes are thinking? They did have quite a long conversation during that drinks break. This one again is fuller by Shaheen Shah Afridi, but tidily met by Joss Butler. And there again is no run. Because mentally, you see, having said all of us, before you came on, Annie, that I suspect you might have been thinking the same thing. They were playing the game the right way.
Yeah. Scoring, they were going for it, but
playing to their strengths.
Yeah, definitely.
But now they could do it without boundaries. They could do it before the new ball with just prodding the ones and twos. Now that means Pakistan will need to rethink their field.
It's a great position for England to be in lots of ways, yeah.
Butler nice and solid in defence there to Shaheen Shah Afridi. Off into the offside it goes. There's no run. 220 for 5. 57 more runs needed to win. as you've just heard us debating and calculating, the new ball is far enough away that they could do it in singles if they wanted. I'm not saying they do, but it might just cause that bit of a rethink. Frustrate Pakistan with the 1s and 2s as this one's flicked off his legs nicely by Josh Butler. Oh, and Mohammed Rizwan is away like a whippet, but he doesn't need to be because Mohammed Abbas was awaiting down there at long leg. Now, was that runs or was that leg buys?
I think it was leg buys. An appeal for LBW by Shaheen.
Well, have a look. Actually. Yeah, no, definitely leg buys. Definitely going down leg. And if that was, if that was it's a very polite, gentlemanly inquiry rather than a Stuart Broad celeb appeal. If you can imagine the exact opposite of a Stuart Broad celeb appeal, that's pretty much what Shaheen offered there.
Yeah, and Stuart Broad's got the headband for it as well now, hasn't he? It just all goes.
Doesn't he just 22 for 5, all the 2s, double Nelsons. Shaheen Shah Afridi's in. Solidly high elbowed defensive stroke from Butler. It's away to the offside. There's no run.
He's got all the strokes, hasn't he?
Annie Chave.
I'm sorry.
I just incorrigibly optimistic. Life grounds you down that you just know it'll tease you with the possible and then smack you around the chops with the harsh realities.
Well, WinViz has England at 67% now.
I know, but WinViz is such a flirty, fickle mistress that who knows, it bends with the wind. As this one is left alone outside of off stump.
Is that what your flirty mistress does?
It is though, isn't it?
It is. Take a cold
one
shower,
wicket, it'll go, oh, do you know what, Pakistan are going to win this. It doesn't care. We're looking at Joe Root. And he looks like he's feeling the pressure. I can tell you we are, Joe. There may not be a crowd there, but anyone who's watching this is going to be feeling the pressure in some capacity. Even, I suspect, neutrals. What a game of Test cricket we've got. Speaking of which, it was the end of the over. Who else is with us?
Oh, yeah. I was getting over. Jay Grover says, Warren from Hot Mic.
Hang on.
I've been tweeting these very nice people for nigh on a decade.
Oh, well, sorry about that. I think we've addressed that because the bear came to your rescue like a knight in shining armour. That was pushed away into the offside, by the way. No run. Wokes is facing. Yazir Shah is in. Meets it, turns it into a full toss, but doesn't really get hold of it. Straight to short mid-wicket. Babar Azam does the fielding.
I'll just finish his tweet. It says, "You'll never get respect." It's like he changed what it says.
It's not true.
Who is us? Us Gorilla? Us England? Ooh, that was wristy and that was edged and it was edged past first slip. Now is it not going to go all the way? Mohammed Abbas. No, it's not Abbas, is it? Yes, I think it was. But either way, he flung in a dive and stopped it short of the rope or sponge. I'm not entirely sure that went anywhere near where Chris Wokes was hoping it would go, but it does get him a couple more. England move off double Nelsons. It's 2-2-4 for 5. 53 now the target. Getting it under 50 is in sight as forward comes Wokes. So way to short cover now. So Pakistan looking to perhaps stem this flow of 1s and 2s. And this is where it gets really interesting from a fielding perspective, I think, there, don't you?
Well, yeah, because the pressure's really on them.
As that one is full and met nicely by Wokes. And the thing, Annie, I think, is these two need to just continue to... I think they are adapting their game from what I'm seeing.
They've slowed down a bit,
both players are very versatile and I think undersold in their versatility. This is my point about that.
Comes Shah full, and this one is nicely played. And there's a great example because there's a very long off, deep set, and it's the easiest of singles. Moves. It's the end of the over. Butler's move. Wokes gets the single. He moves on to 60. Butler 56. England 225 for 5. 52 the target.
I'm just going to grab a beer.
Yep. Ravi, the heavy roller, ready says England should squeeze through uncomfortably. 3 more wickets for the Pakistani visitors, in my opinion. I hope not. But
that would be the squeakiest of bums.
Yeah, Ravi also says, strikes me Annie Chave is the queen of commentator curses. I haven't done anything too bad, I don't think.
That's a little bit. We've done plenty of things that are bad, but not in the context of commentary, I suspect. I might be wrong. I'm just assuming.
Ravi, oh no, not you again. Pirate Badgers. Oh dear. Messenger says, evening all. I did manage to make it home in time for the Climax, although Annie's elation at Joss's 50 would be hard to emulate.
Good evening, Messers. Lovely to see you. Glad you made it back. It's exciting
Hi,
stuff.
Messers.
Around the wicket comes Shaheen Shah Afridi. This is driven straight to cover by Chris Wokes. It looks... They've done so well, these two. 60 off 80 for Wokes, 56 off 68 for Joss Butler. They've changed gear to a certain extent, although the bowling has been super tight. But they've changed. They kind of went through the aggressive mode to get the total in sight. They now realise they could do it in ones and twos and still avoid the new ball. So they're being just that little bit more sensible. In comes Shaheen Shah Afridi, short cut. Is it going to make it to the boundary? It's not. It's hauled up short. They'll take two, but it's two more. 226, 227. I beg your pardon.
50 to win.
Now is the target.
50 runs.
50 runs is the target. 1 for 45 for Shaheen Shah Afridi. He dropped that short. I don't think there was any kind of temptation there. I just think it was a slightly looser ball than he has bowled. Perhaps a little bit of combination of late in the day weariness and nerves. It's only bowled 12 overs. That's not like flogging the horse, is it, really, to be fair?
Well, we flogged ours more.
That's a terrifically full Yorker. Stokes jabbed the bat down, kept it out.
Wokes.
Wokes.
I think you mean Wokes, not Stokes.
I did mean Wokes. I was thinking more about how to describe. To me, bat and pad didn't look anywhere closely related there, although the bat did its work. It was a really, really good Yorker by Shaheen Shah Afridi, but the most important thing from an England and scoreboard, and most particularly Chris Wokes' perspective, is that it did stay out. Shaheen stands at the top of his mark. He's around the wicket and in and down the track and driven, but driven straight to cover. Misfielded. It gives them a chance for another single. Wisdom, as I always recall from my playing days, was never run on a misfield. A bugger that, said these two, and took the single anyway.
I think they're fast enough. They're probably faster than you were, Tony. Sorry.
I was quick in my day.
You may have been quick,
but my day was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was never quick.
I was like a whippet in the covers, me.
Did you score in boundaries there?
Yeah, I like to hit the ball.
Well, 49 now the target. Joss Butler is facing Shaheen Shah Afridi. Oh, again it's that Yorker, and again it's dug out by Butler. This is terrific bowling by Shaheen Shah Afridi. He is mixing it up, but he's speared in one that Wokes just got the bat down on, and that one gave Butler similar treatment. And Joss, to his credit, and he, I will say, played it very nicely indeed. Played it like a man who's been in for 69 balls and is just daring to believe he might genuinely be a Test batsman.
And batted well in the first innings as well.
And batted wellish indeed in the first innings. 28 for 5, 228 for 5, 28 for 5, that would be a problem. 49 the target. In comes Shaheen Shah Afridi. Nicely forward comes Test batsman Joss Butler, as it is away into the offside.
I'm going to call him that from now on.
TBJB. Away into the offside for no run.
Ravi, the heavy roller ready, says Butler and Wokes to get less than 60. Well, this is 7 minutes ago, so you've already lost that one. And leave it to Stuart's surprised face Broad to win the game for England.
Is Stuart Broad batting? They'll be on red alert.
Yeah. Broken Cricket Dream says maybe Pakistan need Fawad Alam, the left arm spinner.
Now, are we due a change very shortly? Do we have one more over? I'm sure someone will send us a message to let us know. 111 this partnership from 145 balls, 49 the target. 2 slips in place, and it's down leg side from Naseem Shah, who smiles because I think he knows that's not what he meant. And it's left alone by Chris Wokes. 2 slips to a leg spinner. What does that tell you, Bear?
So they want an edge, mate. And I
Brilliant.
think it's got enough.
That's why you get the big bucks.
Oh!
A forward taking the edge and just short of that second slip. That's why that man's there. And it's Barber Azam, and he just sits there looking like, I don't know, someone just stole the last sweetie in the dish away from him.
Came just, he punched it with
Just
a glove,
a fraction short. Goodness me. What a delivery, though, from Yasir Shah. What a piece of captaincy to place the second slip there. So nearly worked. Crikey Moses. But it didn't work. In comes Yasir Shah. Those two slips. Crouch. Cut. Missed into the gloves of Mohamed Rizwan. Oh, he's getting a bit antsy. He's starting to get a bit antsy. We're getting antsy. It's tense as well. I can hardly find an analogy for just how tense this is becoming.
It's really tense watching it in freeze frame, I can tell you.
Yasir Shah. Bat dropped on it. Quick single taken. And I rather have the impression that Chris Wokes was more than grateful to let Joss take the last two balls of this Yasir Shah over, because he'd been tormented by the Pakistani leggy. And I really do think I'd bring the other leggy into play as well. What do you think, Annie?
But yeah, actually, yeah, why not?
I'd have the two spinners.
I think it would be,
operating in tandem.
I think they might think he might leak too many easy runs.
Yeah,
Is he?
try it for an over.
It's the wickets they need, though, isn't it?
There's one more
True.
till the change here, which I assume is the over we're in, which will mean that two more balls from my spell here. That one's on leg, not a great ball. Nudged around the corner, another single taken.
Now you really want Butler facing Yasir Shah. He noticeably bowls very different to. He's scared of Butler.
Who?
Yasir Shah.
Yes, I think so.
He's scared.
I think he's bowling very defensive to Butler. He's always shoving it down the leg side, or he's coming around the wicket, but he's not doing that to Wokes. He thinks he can get Wokes out in a more traditional way, just prodding forward and getting that edge. That's why he's
still got those two slips there.
Yeah.
There is a backward point, there is a deep point, there is a cover mid-wicket, a mid-on and a long off. Down the track comes Wokes, nicely played, no run, 230 for 5, 47 the target. It's the end of the over, and the end of me for now. I shall stay either behind the sofa or on the edge of a seat somewhere and hand you over to, I think, the mighty Hendo.
I think
no, it's me.
Well, yes, it is. I am back, but it is the bear who will be doing the next session of ball by balling.
And is it me going?
Yeah,
No.
You're going. Yes, you're going. You're
Yes,
back at
Lazy's in.
6:15 with Tony and me. Should it go that far?
Bye-bye then.
I think it may well do, Hendo.
Sorry,
I think it may well do.
it might do. There's something wrong with your mic. I don't know if it's affecting anyone else, but it sounds like very much as if you're in a river.
Who?
You, your mic.
I don't think it's affecting anyone else. I think it's just you.
Okay, all right then.
Everything's been a bit weird today. YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah, the internet's really playing up, isn't it? I had telling me that I didn't have enough bandwidth was low around here. That's driven out to the covers, and there's no run.
But not just with cricket, it's everything.
I know, it'd be typical of British bloody infrastructure, wouldn't it? Can't fucking cope with the heat now.
The thing is, Bear, that Annie and Tony and Nestle sound perfect to me, but you don't. I don't know why that should be.
Because they're coming directly through Zoom, and I'm coming through a mixing desk and into Zoom, probably.
Okay.
Trust me, it sounds okay. Well, ask the listeners. Do I sound alright to you, listeners?
Do you ever?
Well, yeah, that's a loaded question, I suppose. Across, Butler bowls Shaheen Afridi, and he just lets it through, and there's no run. Now England could get nervous here. Choke.
Oh, we got a choke jingle somewhere. Oh, it's a no ball.
It's a no ball. That's one to the total. It's one of these.
Plenty of wickets in hand.
Yeah,
Plenty of wickets in hand.
My feeling, though, is that there's another twist in this game. It's been a twisty, turny, swingy sort of a game. It's gone back and forth where the impetus and the momentum, and there's also that promise of the new ball if they can get to that they could just bowl England out in a flash.
Well,
that office chair that looks like Shaheen was brilliant, wasn't it?
Should explain it to our listeners.
I didn't get it. Across Butler once more, left alone, no run.
I wonder what it was. It just turned up in the WhatsApp group last night, and it was a picture of a chair. But somehow the creases in the chair chiseled out the features of Shaheen Afridi.
I didn't notice that, I have to say.
Quite uncanny. Quite uncanny.
I will put it on Twitter.
Yes, why don't you do that? Well, there's nerves in both camps, aren't there now?
Well,
everyone's sitting on the edge of their step or their seat or walking around the dressing room unable to settle.
Shaheen Afridi is into Butler, who just dropped it into the offside, short cover, and there's no run. This is kind of like the game that we lost to the West Indies, isn't it? We got some early wickets, and then they kind of ground out a big partnership in the middle. And we kept thinking, we've still got 50 runs to play with. We only need 4 or 5 wickets or whatever, and they just never materialised, did they?
They were chasing 200 at that point, weren't they? They chased 200 at 277. It's a much bigger ask, as the figures show. 277. It's going to be a remarkable victory if England do pull it off.
Indeed, Shaheen Afridi is going to come around the wicket now to Butler, who drives that back past him up to mid-off. Nicely timed, dug it out. Straight to Azharani, the skipper, and there's no runs. A lot of chat in the Pakistani outfield.
Well, you can understand it. I mean, they're seeing a game that was within their grasp, slipping away. Ball by ball, run by run, boundary by boundary. And I mean, England will take huge confidence if they do get through this. It'd be a massive win for them.
Well, that's what I said.
Will feel that it's a game lost, won't they?
Until sort of we start getting wickets late yesterday afternoon. Shaheen Afridi is in, and Butler just drops again out on the offside. And there's no run. You know, Pakistan had the best of the game all the way through. I mean, if we win this, it's a kind of sneak attack.
In a way, yes. You'd felt that generally Pakistan were on top. I guess when we had them 170 for 5 in the first innings, and then that terrible afternoon session for England, where they just seemed to let Pakistan take runs as they wished. You'd think England would look back on that and say that's where we lost the game, if we do indeed lose the game.
It would be a very un-England-like victory, wouldn't it?
It really would. It really would.
That, and not being able to keep out the new ball attack. That's a slower ball, I think, angled in at Butler's leg stump. He's clipped around a corner and he's going to come back for 2. Good running. Yeah,
Butler's really good between the wickets, isn't he? He's spotted that immediately and got back for the second.
No, he's the best wicketkeeper batsman in the world.
Well, I tell you what, there could be a case made for keeping Joss for the next test as a batsman on his own. I'm not sure whether his batting should bail out his wicket keeping.
No,
good that it's been this afternoon.
That massively unbalances the side.
It probably will. I mean, the alternative is what is the alternative? You can't live out Chris Wokes. Do you look at the next test and think maybe Jimmy Anderson has?
Well, yeah, we were talking about this right at the top of the show, weren't we? I think you probably go Jimmy, have a rest. We're doing a bit of rotation.
Yeah, I mean, he has already missed one test, didn't he? He missed the second test of the summer.
Naseem Shah in, and Wokes just watches it past the outside edge, and there's no run. The other thing is, I suppose, where's Woody? Woody's disappeared off the radar a bit, hasn't he, since first test?
This talk that they were going to play, they were all going to play 4 out of 6 tests. That's gone well, by the way.
It has, isn't it? It's important to win, funnily enough. Naseem Shah tosses that one up, driven nicely by Wokes, out to, I presume, a sweeper. Yep. And it'll be 1 run.
I imagine people must be getting really excited on the Twitter sphere. I don't know, I haven't got Twitter up, but...
well, I'll do them after this over if you want.
It's a great test match.
Indeed, you shall.
Well, Mark Zipp's feeling any Chave's pain. I'm suffering with someone else's bad Wi-Fi, and the audio stream is off and on in 3-second bursts. Off the Bear sounds fine in 3-second bursts.
I suppose what England could do is they could drop Dominic Bess. That would get the seal of approval from the Bear.
Black shite.
Tossed up. Oh, with a bloody hell, he's gone! No! Well, the umpire's not giving it. Pakistan.
That's out. I'll tell you why that's out. Because Wokes looked up. He knew
it was Butler, wasn't
it? Sorry, it's Butler, is it? He looked up as if to suggest he was about to be given and was about to walk off. And he's looking very upset as he walks up towards Chris Wokes. I told you there was another turn
Well,
in
it
this game.
was. I did say if it's a wicket, you know. Oh yeah, there's a big edge there. There's a big edge there.
Another good catch by Rizwan though.
Yeah.
He's trying to carve a cut, hasn't he? He's trying to carve it, and he's got a little top edge.
Has he?
You might as well walk off, my man. You might as well walk off.
No, he hasn't, mate.
Oh,
He's not
there's nothing
touched
there.
it. He's not touched it. So he's not going to be walking off. And phew.
Is he?
Well, if he didn't hear it, so why would he walk?
Doesn't appear to be anything there.
There's nothing on Ultra Edge.
Nothing on Ultra Edge.
Didn't touch it.
Well, there you go.
Well, the umpire didn't give it, so he didn't think he hit it. So
well, good umpiring. Good umpiring. Everyone did well there, apart from actually Butler in one sense, because he looked so guilty the way he looked up. I thought he's got to be on his way.
I think he was just mad at himself for playing such a shitty shot.
It may have been that. Yeah, he sort of raises his eyes to heaven as if, oh my God, what have I done? But it may have just been, oh my God, what a terrible shot to play.
No, I was seeing him. He's shaking his head, saying, no, touched it. Bloody hell! That one's kicked off a length. I think it's a top spinner, or yeah, and jumped off a length, and it's hit Butler near the shoulder from nowhere.
I think that's the flipper that he's trying to bowl. That one that he got with Wokes with in the first innings.
Yeah,
and that has just kicked, hasn't it? It's just kicked, and he's lucky to survive that, really.
Oh, it's also 10-10 though.
It is. It's great. I'm loving it.
I know.
Absolutely loving it.
2, 3, 4 for 5. Butler facing up. Naseem Shah is in, and he gets forward, draws his bat between his pads. Get nowhere near that one. And there ain't no run.
This is where spin bowling is the best bit of cricket.
Well, this is where an asset like Naseem Shah. I mean, you just can't see Don Best doing this kind of. I mean, I know he's not a leg spinner, but you can't. You know, Nathan Lyon can do this kind of shit, and he's an off spinner.
Yep.
But as you say, Hendo, you got to learn your art. There's a reverse sweep, and that's probably wise. I think Butler probably thinks attack may be the best form of defence here against Naseem Shah. That's what they were doing earlier, and it certainly puts him off as he reverse swept that down to 0.4, deep back with 0.4, a single.
Let's catch up on some tweets between the overs.
Indeed. Spit the dog. Good morning, chaps. Come on, England. Condensed milk sandwiches for everyone. Anna Forsyth says, I'm using hot mic. Have you synced up and sitting on the edge of my seat with Middlesex on the other screen? Dave Wood says, bloody foreign climate coming over here, stealing our bandwidth.
I know. It's disgraceful.
Jay Grover, the tube is fine. Tuning is consumptive. This means I have to look at your strange and terrible beauty. And Prophet Mohabit says, hey, can you pass on this message to my wife that I'm listening to cricket commentary? Yeah.
Mrs. Prophet Mohabit.
Yeah. He's listening to cricket commentary.
Nothing should come between a man or a woman and his or her cricket commentary.
Wow.
There is a change of bowling. There.
Here we go.
We are going to get more spin.
This could be a last throw of dice here. Let's give it a shot. It's where is he? There he is.
What's the matter, you? Show a little respect. The leg is spinning his harder, but he turns it off at the deck. Oh, he's not too bad. He's always got a plan. Shadab can.
His plan for the first ball was to just toss it up and allow Butler to punt it down to long off for a single.
But Hendo, when will you settle? When it's like England need 22 to win?
I will settle when England have won. No, I mean, to be honest.
No, come on. I mean,
even
22.
if England, no, I don't think. I think England should win it from here. But I just know the way that this game has been going. There's been little turns just when you think that one team is on top, something happens, and suddenly the other team is back in it.
22 runs. So anyone should get that, shouldn't they?
Wokes faces up to Shadab, and he just defends out on the offside, and there's no run. The fact that they slowed down so much means they will have to face the new ball, though.
Well, yes, and that could be crucial. It could still be crucial.
Very much could be crucial. I imagine Mohammed Abbas will be itching to have a go with a new ball.
That's when they've got to learn to leave it.
Driven and can dives across as if it's a catch, but it's actually a bump ball.
It's difficult though, Nestle. I mean, the ball that got Pope, no one could have played that ball.
No,
I mean, it's gone through the surface. He's committed to the shot. You can't get out of the way of that. So if you get 2 or 3 of those, there's a chance.
Oh, that's got to be out! Surely, no, it's not given. Are they going to review that?
They've got one review left.
They've got one review. He is a leg spinner, I suppose, turning it away. He got right across the stumps. He might have been outside the line, but I thought he was in line. But the question is, it's probably turning away from the stumps enough from there to Certainly a miss.
He's just done it with about a second to go, and I think that's the right decision. I really do.
I thought that was close as well. It's a question of how much it's turning. My first impression, it was kind of going straight on, and he could be in a bit of trouble. But we shall have a look.
He's hit him more on the body, hasn't it, than the actual pad. Let's have a look at this again.
Well,
he gets his foot down. Oh, he's got a bat on that, hasn't he?
I think he's outside the line.
Has he got glove on that?
I think he's actually outside the line.
Everything.
Well, I don't think he's got any bat on it.
Oh, hang on. Isn't there a little bit there?
No, the bat's miles away from it there. Has it got down the side of the glove? It's missed the
glove.
It's hit the pad. It was given not out, wasn't it? I think
that's so tight. That is so tight.
I think it's umpire's call on him.
Oh, surely it's
umpire's call. And it's from the track of the ball. It's moving away. It's missing. They've lost their last review, which puts England in a box seat because we still got 3.
Yeah, well, it'll be really anxiety causing should England need to use all 3 reviews. I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, totally. But you've got them in the bag if you need them.
Yeah, and it's better than not having.
Exactly.
One.
I mean, look at that.
His head, isn't he?
The Ben Stokes won. I mean, that LBW that should have they never review left. Driven out of Wokes down the ground to mid on, and there's no run. I mean, that was prime example of not wasting your review. You remember that in the Ashes when Stokes went on to win the game? And Cummings appealed for that, reviewed that LBW that was hitting miles outside leg stump. Forward, defended by Wokes, back to the bowler, no run. And then the next over, Lyon had him bang LBW. The umpire didn't give it, and the story goes on.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a chat about this, and there are a lot of us who don't think that was out. I can see why people think it was. Anyway, that's going back. That was a great day. This is turning into a great day. I mean, certainly a great day of Test cricket. Whoever you support, I guess you're going to be massively disappointed in Pakistan if England do get out of this. And if Pakistan were to come back and take these wickets, you wouldn't say they didn't deserve it either. It's been that good a game.
No, exactly.
Alex Southworth says, "There's just something wonderful about watching Pakistan bowl. For me, it always brings back memories of Akram, Waqar Yunus and Imran Khan. Was there ever a better fast attack? Maybe the Windies from the 80s.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think so." And Jay Grover just says, "What? Huh?"
Well, the first ball was just let through by Butler. Next ball, Yasir Khan throws that up again. Yasir Shah throws it up, and it's left alone through to the keeper once more.
There's the problem in having this frame-by-frame live cricket is I can't tell when the new overs started reading the tweet.
Reverse swept. There is a man down there for that now.
No, my heart is in my mouth every time I see them turning to play the reverse sweep. But I guess they're so adept at it now that actually it's not as risky a shot as it feels to some of us who sort of finished playing 20 years ago.
You know what, Hendo? Some of these people are pretty good at cricket.
They are quite good, aren't they? They're quite good. Mind you, we have seen some terrible shots before by England batsmen.
Yep.
So no reason to expect they won't necessarily produce one at the moment. I'm glad he's brought a gully in there or a second slip in there. I think that's the wise move as well.
He's doing that to Wokes, definitely. Too short though. Crashed through the offside and in front of square. The man is going to get there. Naseem Shah is out there on the cover boundary. Got to get back for 2. 38 required to win. We're in the 30s now.
Come on, Hendo. You must be feeling a little bit more comfortable.
I am, but I just think there's still one more turn in this.
One more twist.
6 overs left after this before the new ball.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So over 6 and over required. Oh, that's too full. Driven, nicely driven. But there is a man out there, so it's going to be a single. Feeling he might have missed out there. Maybe a better placement and hit it harder. This guy is. Their outfielders are a good. You notice when they're herring around the boundary, they're a good 15 yards in from the boundary. A lot of the time. Or seem to be when the camera hits them. Butler facing up, 62 not out, flat and tweaked into the leg side, a little area. If they'd been a normal mid-wicket, I think that would have been the simplest of simple catches, you know, as he played it away through there. He obviously knew it was vacant and played it out deep mid-wicket for a single.
Yeah, very good. 36 more to win. Yeah, I think England, if England throw it away now, they're going to be disappointed, aren't they? But Chris Wokes, I think you've got to say, what a great game Chris Wokes has had. He got some early wickets yesterday when England needed to stop Pakistan getting away from them with that lead. And now he's batted beautifully in this innings, really beautifully. I don't think I've seen him bat better, to be honest.
He
Against
batted
a
all right
high-class attack.
He batted okay in the first innings as well. Got 30 odd in the first innings.
Yeah. Yep, he's actually a very good batsman. Some of his cover driving has been absolutely superb.
Indeed, Shadab is going to continue. And that's it, he had a poor series against the West Indies. But hey ho. Oh no! Well, that was a filthy delivery, and it could be a filthy wicket. It's not. Oh dear, shit does take wickets, and it nearly did. That was a horrible half-tracker, really dragged down by Shadab. Butler's eyes just lit up. He went to pull it and got a massive top edge. Fortunately, it didn't carry to the man charging in from the boundary out there. In fact, I think he toe-ended it. He got way through the shot too early. But the man out on the boundary had to sprint in and couldn't quite make it. Oh, it's drama. 242 for 5. Wokes is now facing up 68 off 97. Just 35 runs required to win. Shadab into the 6th over. As Wokes faces up, he bowls. That's Fuller. Better delivery. And about middle and off, and just turning slightly away. He doesn't get the big revs, does he? That Naseem Shah gets. Shadab up to the crease, bowls, tosses that one up to Riven, out through cover to the man sweeping, and there'll be a single.
I don't know, but I've got a theory about Shadab, and I'd like to see it if you can see it in close up. It's very difficult, but whether he actually uses his fingers more than his wrist as a leg spinner, whereas I think Naseem Shah and a lot of leg spinners use their wrist much more than he does.
Tossed up on leg stump, leading edge back to the bowler. All on the ground there. No
couple
run.
of escapes for Butler in this over.
It's all getting very tense.
Neymar Butler's is dumping tune in. It's rubbish outside. Hot Mike is strong in the back garden like a sweaty bloke called Michael.
Excellent. Defended back up the track, and there's no run.
And Jay Grover says finally Butler's guilt catches up with him.
Well, he didn't get out. It's a pretty rash shot. Well, actually, the ball was there to hit. He just his eyes lit up too much. Shadab is in, tosses up again, driven nicely by Butler, but straight at short cover. No run. Is that the end of the over? Yeah, it is the end of the over. None for 21 off 6 for Shadab. 243 for 5. England, they require 34 to win with 5 wickets in hand. The new ball is due in 6 overs. And,
6 overs, is it?
5 overs, sorry.
5 overs now.
Jay Grover says Nestle is channeling his Essex pub car parks now. Leave it! Leave it! Just put him down. He ain't worth it, Michael. He ain't worth it. Messages says, so if Joss is justifying his place as batsman, can he take the place of Stokes, who needs recovery time, and let Folks in?
Well, I think you maybe look at, depending on the pitch, you look at getting Dominic Bess out of the side. And well, you could leave Butler in as a batsman and also pick Folks.
Got a great tweet from Toby Abadeo.
Left alone outside the off stump, no run. Go, Nestlers.
He forgot his headphones at home, so everyone else in this socially distanced coffee shop is getting to hear y'all bringing me on this stressful journey as well.
Hey,
where's the coffee shop? Hello, coffee shop. Where are you?
He's in North Carolina, I think. I think he's in Raleigh.
Hello, North Carolina.
Another one.
That's left on outside the off stump by Wokes. And it's taken by the keeper, no run. Turned quite
Kobe,
sharply.
I've got my Kill Devil Hills hat on, just for you.
Nice. Who are they? What's that?
It's in the Outer Banks in North Carolina.
Tossed up. Oh, driven out airily. We've got quite a good connection. I thought it had gone a bit airily through cover, but it had. It goes out to Naseem Shah, who's fielding out on the boundary. And there's a single.
33
required. Wokes on 70. Butler 64. 244 for 5. England. New ball due. 4 overs after this. Mr. Shah's got 2 for 91 off his 26 overs. Driven.
What was that?
What was what?
That weird noise.
I thought that was you.
Oh.
I thought that was you going. Driven out to cover and there's no run.
I thought you'd let one go there, Bear.
No, Oh, reverse sweep in front of square. Must have toe-ended it to Butler. Straight to cover. Well, as Annie is fielding.
Anna Forsyth is talking to her Rice Krispies. She just told them she's scared.
Don't be scared, Anna. Everything's going to be okay. Flatter, and I think Butler noticed that and decided I can't do much with it and let it through to Rizwan. That is the end of that over.
Hawkster says, so would you at all think about Broad to come in next with licence to swing? A quick 20 would be game over, but a short duck still leaves them with 3 wickets and Wokes or Butler to guide them. There's all sorts of possibilities, Hawkster.
Well, I think Dominic Best has been sitting there for a long time waiting to bat. I think it would be... He's probably full of nervous energy, needs to do something with it, needs to get out there if in fact a wicket does fall. He's probably wandering around. No, there he is. He's just putting his box back in by the looks of things. He's got his chest plate on as well.
He's taken it out. He's had a sniff and he's put it back.
Shadab. Ooh, it's another leading edge as he tried to turn it into the leg side of Wokes. It didn't carry back to the bowler and there's no run there.
Yeah, Shadab does attack that line of middle and leg, trying to turn it a little bit, trying to get you to turn into the onside and get that leading edge, or maybe get beaten on the outside edge.
Get that foot forward, that's the one. Defended back to the bowler and there's no run. Oh, back past Shadab. And he thinks no one's going to pick it up and they might get a single, but they don't. 2, 4, 4 for 5. That was definitely you, wasn't it, Nestle?
That was me just now, a hiccup.
This is how it's playing with our digestions.
Full driven, nice. Oh, can't beat mid off though. Hit it with such force they won't even get through for singles. Shah Masood's down there. Gets a little fist bump.
Yeah, he really slapped that, didn't he? Actually, when he could have done with just hitting it a little bit. Hitting it with a bit less weight on it, and he might have got a single. That said, he was probably looking for the 4.
Yeah, indeed. Shadab Khan, flat, cut out to the man sweeping on the cover boundary. It's now Shaheen Afridi, I think, out there, and it'll be a single.
And when the new ball becomes available, who do you go to? Do you go to Mohammed Abbas and Shaheen Afridi?
I guess so. If they think that's their opening partnership, you go back to your opening partnership.
I thought in his final spell, Mohammed Abbas was looking a little bit tired, I have to say.
Yeah,
but then again, when the game's getting away from you a little bit, you do tend to look that way, don't you?
Exactly. Pulled by Butler. Is it going to go all the way? There's no one out there anyway. I think it is, and it's in the stands. Oh my word! Drama. It's one of these. And that brings it down to 26 required. It was a bit short by Shadab. It did sit up, and I imagine that Butler's been looking for that kind of ball for quite a while.
I think he was that one where he nearly got caught, where he just chipped it short of the man. That was probably what he was trying to do with that one, but this time he's really got a hold of it, hasn't he?
Indeed. 26 required to win.
To win.
One ball left in the over.
Yasir Shah is lying on the ground. He looks like he's given up.
He's just chilling.
He's up now.
And Butler will face up to the last ball of the over. It's full. Oh, I think that was attempt to googly possibly.
It was, yeah.
Inside half of the bat for Butler goes out to a vacant mid-wicket. Vacant fucking mid-wicket. And it'll be a single.
Well,
hey, Grover. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Nestle.
Hendo, if it helps, I'm looking at the palm of my right hand, and there's an inkwell in and within. Focus, he says.
Focus, okay. Well, I'm doing my best. I think I'm sort of rather rubbing my head in a sort of slightly stressed manner at the moment.
You're dreading the new ball, aren't you?
To bring me comfort. I'm not dreading the new ball, but I just think...
Dread the new ball, Hendo. Dread it.
Could be fun. Maybe England want to finish it before the new ball. Maybe Butler will just go rather crazy and aim for it.
Well, it's tossed up by Yasir Shah. It's worked into the leg side nicely. I think they're going to try and go for 2 here. They are indeed. That's really good running. There's a vacant mid-wicket. You never have a fucking vacant mid-wicket. It's stupid, especially when people don't need a lot of runs. If you bowl it a little too full, these kind of guys will just work you through it. And there was so little pace on that ball that Butler could get back for 2. brings it down to 23 to win. 2-5 for 5.
You just keep saying to yourself, England can't lose it from here. Where's Durban Oak? He must be around.
Chewing his nails off.
We need some of his pessimism.
You're good at pessimism, Hendo.
Naseem
Shah tosses out well outside off stump. Butler thinks about it, I think, and then realises, no need to play at that.
When does pessimism become realism?
Well, I like to think that I'm a realist as opposed to a pessimist, but I think actually I am a pessimist.
Naseem Shah throws it up to reverse, swept nicely. Good timing by Butler. There is a man out there. They're going to come back for 2 though. There's a little bit of a misship field down out there at deep backward point. They couldn't quite gather it in correctly. I think Butler had already made up his mind to come back for the second anyway, but that made it easier. He ended up picking that up from leg stump. His front pad was well outside off. It was Naseem Shah out there. Just a little fumble on the pickup.
There's gone Hendo. Spilled my skin, says Joe Grover. He's getting very poetic at last knockings, isn't he?
Yeah, just clips into the leg side. No run this time. Surprised they didn't try that one. Maybe they need a little rest after a couple of quick 2s.
I'm just looking at some of the Bob Willis Trophy scores, and Annie will be exultant, jubilant, because Nottinghamshire are 67 for 8. Northampton, sorry.
Oh no! That's out.
He's got it!
No! There it is. There's the twist. Butler is going to review it. Why? I don't know why. Unless you've hit that. That is so fucking plumb. It was on the full, and he went to reverse sweep it again. It dipped, I think, just below his back. Got him on the shin, right in front of middle stump. The turn has happened, I believe. Has he got anything on it? Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it.
Ooh, that might be
I don't know. It turned as well, didn't it?
Ball tracker. Ball tracker could be interesting here, because it's just started to turn there. It's hit him on the side of the pad as opposed to the front of the pad. Is it possibly missing off stump?
Well, I thought it hit him on the full, and in that case it couldn't be anything other than. But it's turned
quite. It started to turn there. It's starting to turn.
It is indeed. And if that, well, it's predictive, isn't it? The question is, will it be able to predict how far it's going to turn from that short distance between there and there? Because that looks like quite a sharp angle, and therefore might be missing off stump. Well, we'll have to look. There is no bat involved. There is no ball, because obviously that's done off the field now anyway as the bowler bowls. That hasn't been called.
Everyone's glued to the replay screen, aren't they? Absolutely. This is crucial. Absolutely crucial.
Come on, missed the off stump. Missed the off stump. It was given out, so it only has to be clipping. And this is tense shit.
It's tense shit. I think that sums it up, yes. Dominic Best is wondering if he's going to be on his way out into the middle. The pressure's all going to be on him. Everyone's watching, but nothing's happening. What's going on? Can't get the front on view, I think.
The heat has melted the computers up there too, so they can't see. I don't know. Here we go.
Here we go.
It's hit him out in line. It's going on. Oh, it's going.
He's out.
Umpire's
he's out. It's umpire's call on height.
Oh, impact in line over to no, it stays with the umpire anyway, so he's going to be given out.
So he's been given out. Oh my word!
This is
very, very thin margins, isn't it?
The third jingle.
Oh, what a shame for Butler. He deserved to carry his bat through that. He's really batted superbly today, and he troops off absolutely crestfallen.
Oh man, gutted. I'm gutted for him. I think he's done a job.
Has he done enough? Yes.
Well, you think so, but 4 wickets for 21. Having look at England in the past, many a time we've lost 4 wickets for 21 runs.
Well, we went from what 96 for 2 to 117 for 5. Well, that's 21. 3 wickets for 21, and 3 wickets for 21 here would mean that we've got a tie on our hands, wouldn't it? Oh no, 21 is what they need.
So we'd have 1 wicket left to get.
Can we have a super over if it's a tie?
No.
Now, what a shame. I'm just trying to look at the number of overs. That was the end of the 78th, so 2 more overs before the new ball is due, and Azza has his team around him. He's imploring them for one final push to get Pakistan over the line. A few of them are taking drinks, and they're still Butler. He looks like the oldest of old men getting up those steps, but he gets massive applause from Joe Root and his teammates. Ben Stokes alongside him as he disappears into the dressing room.
Jay Grover wants to know, is there an inter-gorilla belching contest going on?
No, I haven't been indulging in that at all. I can honestly say. Now, here we've got an interesting change of plan. And who was it who flagged up the possibility of Stuart Broad coming out to bat?
Hawkster.
Well, whoever it was, he got it right. Stuart Broad has been sent out. Dominic Bess has been waiting for hours to bat, and it's Stuart Broad who's had to get the pads on.
Headband around. Something has got to keep her down. Got the best headband around. Your ego ain't gonna be kept down. Got the best headband around. Even though your hair is thinning now.
I'm scared now.
I'm scared. We're all very scared.
I'm scared.
He could knock this off in a couple of balls.
He could do. He could also just get bowled first ball, giving it a big heave.
Well,
Broady.
the thing is,
go on, Broady.
The thing is that Broady, I suspect, is a little bit happier against a bit of pace when he comes in and just throws the bat. So the fact that the new ball's about to come might not actually worry him quite so much. But for sure, the pressure is back on England. Well, I guess England should win this, but I've got no.
You've got years of experience of watching.
Years of experience of watching England throw things away. That's to be fair though, they don't often even get this close. So
yeah, true.
If they were to lose it from here, they've actually done better than my expectations.
Well, yeah, I mean it was always a chance, but you kind of expected them not to do it. We've got a couple of comments on Hot Mike. John says still chance for Broad, bingo. Well, here you go. Warren says buggery, and John says 1 off 2 played on. 1 off 2 played
Twitter's
on.
What that means.
Don't know. Syncton scared, says Warren. Yeah, I'm scared too, Warren. I'm really scared. The internet's been a real shit this weekend.
Let's go through some tweets before Yassir starts or bowls his next ball.
Well, Mill says, silly Millie, laughed my arse off. My dad pulled Broad in the car. Did I hear a tie was an option? Let's try to explain the difference between a tie and a draw to our friends on the other side of the pond, says Alex Southworth.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Here we go, Brett.
Round a wicket. Swept. Down towards long leg. He'll get a single and retain the strike with Broady.
Spangly Sai says, doomed up, this is all too close.
Well, there is a theory here as well, right left-hander combination. If you can keep running the singles, it does the bowler's heads in. No one likes to do that.
Dave Wood says, I make just +6 runs wise after his dropping of Masood. He has to be dropped surely. Well, I don't know.
It's going to be very harsh after he's played an innings like that, isn't it? Yes, you've got to, you get paid the big bucks to make the big decisions.
Well,
don't you,
this
Mr.
is
Ed
it.
Smith?
It's actually easy. If England win, you keep him. If England lose, you go, well, sorry, Josh, you didn't quite do it, did you?
No, you didn't quite finish it off, did you? You should have seen it through.
Exactly.
But still got Wokes out there on 71, Broad on 1.
And
Shadab to continue.
Indeed. You're taking over shortly, aren't you? What time are you taking over?
Do one more over and then I'll take over.
And he's going to get a beer after that. Because Annie's supposed to be joining us, isn't she? Again?
Annie and Tony should be coming back.
Okay, they haven't turned up yet.
6:15.
Yeah, which is only a few minutes away.
Oh, I might get 2 overs in, Hendo.
But if the bear is struggling from lack of beer, then obviously
I'm not struggling because of lack
I'll
of beer.
step in.
I know. No, it's fine. I'm just a bit all over the place.
Shadab to Broad.
Yep. I'm doing this now. Shadab in bowls over the wicket, jabbed at by Broad, very full, jabs it into the ground, just bobbles back to the bowler, and there's no run.
You went to say round the wicket. You said over
round
the wicket. You meant round the wicket.
Okay, round the wicket. I was about to say they'll probably like it bowling to Broad, the spinners, because there's a lot of rough out there. He sweeps that nicely. It's not in the air, and it's gone for 4 runs. That's why Broady's out there. Good shots, my man. Give it some. He does have long legs, and he does like a sweep.
And long arms.
Yeah,
he has good reach.
He does like a sweep. But surely you'd have someone out there. I mean, they've got the man behind square, I suppose.
They've got a man a bit too far behind square and a man in front of square, but he hit it fairly square. Very good shot, actually.
It was aerial for a long way, though.
Yep. Good stuff from Broady. Down to 16 to win now, England.
It just gets tenser and tenser. In the bag. Not one of Mashall's bags with lots of holes in, I hope.
No.
Good. Broady's 5 off 3, playing a one-day innings. Shadab around the wicket. See, I think sometimes he looks like he just does a finger spinner's action. I think.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's
that
exactly
like
my point.
That looked like a normal finger
The way he
spinner
grips
to
the
me.
ball is possibly between the second and third fingers.
But he must turn
And
his
he just
wrist up.
rotates those.
Yeah. That's a full toss. Bang down to deep backwards square leg where Shah Massoud is fielding. And it'll be just the one. 262 for 615 more required. 4 wickets in hand. Well, even Anderson, if they all get their average, Anderson's average is 9, isn't it? At test level.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, absolutely. If they get their averages, England are going to win for sure. They just don't want to lose Wokes at this juncture.
No.
Having lost Joss Butler, if they lost Wokes, that's going to really put the wind up them in the dressing room, I would suggest.
But a question now for these guys, surely, is are they going to take the new ball? It's due 1 over after this. So we get this 1 and 1 more with the old ball. And
it's
then
a tricky one, isn't it? They might decide to stick with the old
spinners
ball
and
and
the
keep
old
the leggies
ball,
on.
or do you give the
Trust to
spinners
them,
the
but then
new-
again they might want to blow a couple out quickly.
Shadab jabbed at by Wokes as he bowls the line outside off stump. Doesn't really turn much, and he just jabs it down towards short backward point, and there's no run. Yeah, I mean,
Hombre Nuevo says he's very scared but think this is going to be great fun. Also, I remember asking during the Windies if England will be mad enough to bring Broad up the order.
Well,
he's turned back into a batsman. Where's the Twitter feed of is Stuart Broad batting?
yeah, exactly. Where is he? Driven at by Wokes. There's 4 in an umbrella field there. That's a short cover and a standard cover, and it hits standard cover, and there's no run.
I didn't know this. Anna Forsyth says Butler's dad is apparently in hospital as of last night too, so we should all feel terrible about the mean things we've said.
We never said mean things. Well, I certainly haven't said mean things. It's just that we've been worried. Obviously, everyone wants to see Joss Butler become the cricketer that everyone thinks he can be, but maybe he never will be. Maybe we have too high expectations of him. Barry, are you going to do one more?
I'll do one more. I'll take you get a new ball, then you get new ball glory, Hendo.
Okay. All right.
Oh God, just oh God, says Strange Carrot Com.
The second new ball is due in 1 over, but does it look like Shaheen is about to bowl this over with the old ball or not?
No,
or
I
is he
think they're just
warming up
focusing
there?
on him and warming up.
Okay. Yeah, still got to be Yasser.
So I wonder if you throw the new ball to Yasser as well, get a bit harder, bigger of a seam. Can he bowl the new ball? Probably used to it.
I don't know. I think you've got to have one more go with the quick men. You've got to ask them to step up.
Well, Broad is sweeping again. He's always sweeping.
Where is it?
I don't know. Well, it ended up with a wicket keeper. I think it might
didn't
have
get hold of it, did he?
No, I think it might have bounced off short leg. Did he hit it into the ground? I thought for a minute it was going to be a catch. Yeah, he hit it into the ground and it bounced off short leg. Wouldn't want to be there really, because you know exactly what shot's coming every ball then. He's going to whack it at me. It's either going to hit me or miss me. If it misses me,
Stokesy can't watch. Stokesy, you'd rather be out there, Stokesy. You can't watch this.
Yeah, it's tense shit. Well,
His
that's
hair
a little bit
transplants
shorter
have fallen
outside
out.
off. That's a better line because Broad can't get his foot out to it. And that's what defends from the crease. Just drops it into the leg side and there's no run.
Toby Amodio says everyone's left the coffee shop except one high school student in the far corner who's looking confused by the jingles. Come on then, Stuart.
That's leg side, and that's swept nicely by Broad, but Shah Massoud.
Oh, what's Broady doing? Wants to come back for a second. What are you doing, my man?
He swept that nicely down to long leg, took the easy single, and then crept half out the wicket almost. And as Hendo and me both said, what are you doing, Broady?
Indeed. Well, 14 to win now. 4 wickets in hand. Azhar Ali must be getting that sinking feeling. He really must, after Pakistan looked to have victory nailed on when England were 117 for 5.
Wow.
Steve O'Shaughnessy is on the edge of the arena with the new ball, which he's going to bring out in 3 deliveries' time.
Just rub it up against that concrete wall.
Yeah, as a shot is in and prodded at by Wokes. It turns and beats his outside edge. Rizwan kind of throws his head in the air, and there's no out, no run.
Joe Grover says there is always a tipping point when it comes to the fear. I'm just enjoying it now.
What's Mohammed Rizwan doing? He's banging himself on the head in frustration, I think.
Yasir Shah throws that one up, and again Temps works a little bit too short, a little bit too wide. He just plays down the line and spins harmlessly past through to the keeper. No run. I think they'll prefer the new ball and a bit of pace, actually.
Well, I mean, also they've got the chance of getting that ball to go through the surface, like the one that got Ollie Pope.
Yeah.
And they've just got to hope that they can get a couple of balls.
But I think England's batsmen would prefer the new ball as well. In a way, with only 14 to win. Full toss on leg stump. Wokes thought about belting it, but instead played the sensible option, just guided down to long leg for a single.
Leah reckons our broadcast is totally fucked now.
Why?
I know, that's all she said. And Grits and Grat said YouTube stream is about an hour behind.
Well, I guess the thing to do is to go on a hot mic if you haven't already got onto hot mic.
You can only do it though if you've got a iOS or an Android, haven't you?
Yeah, true.
Can't do it on a laptop.
Wevo Shaughnessy is bringing out the new ball, and I was hoping that Annie and Tony were going to come back, but there seems to be no sign of them.
Yes, there are. They're sitting in the waiting room.
They're in the waiting room. You've got to bring them in. You've got to bring them in, Ben.
They're coming in right now as we speak.
We've got Annie's iPad is about to fire up, and the Bish is back. He's looking for glory as well. It's goodbye to Nestle boy.
I'll see you later.
See you next test, Nestlers. The Bish is here. He's advertising hot mic, and Annie is back. Annie, what did you feel like when Josh Butler played that reverse sweep? What were your feelings? Can you explain them? Can you reveal
it was so tight to being umpire's call. That's just his luck at the moment.
Just his luck.
No, I think he's batted really, really well.
He has. He's batted absolutely beautifully. Chris Wokes has strike, and Shaheen Afridi is going to have one more blast to see if he can do something remarkable for Pakistan. He'll be a hero throughout the land if he does. He's just rubbing his hands in the sawdust at the end of his run. He's got 2 slips of gully, an extra cover that is, a mid-off. I think there's a man back at backward point. There are runs into the onside, I would suggest. And in he comes, bowls down the leg side, and Wokes will be annoyed that he couldn't lay a bit of bat on that and see it skittle away down to fine leg for 4, but he can't. The tension remains. Wokes is on 72 from 112 deliveries. Tony, you think this is nailed on now for England?
No. I think the new ball is crucial. I mean, it's the old story, isn't it? A couple of wickets go down in a hurry, it'll look scarily scary.
So are you saying that Joss didn't do enough then? Is that what you think?
He will have done enough if England win, not enough if they lose.
Shaheen Afridi bowls and brings the ball back into Wokes, who defends, and then there's a deep breath from Wokes as if to signify the amount of pressure that's on, the amount of tension that is out there.
How different do we think it would be if there was a crowd there? Do you think it would carry England home? Do you think it would be, or do you think it's harder that they're not there, or harder, or no different?
I don't think it would make a difference actually, because they batted so well. It's a bit like Ben Stokes last year. I mean, you can remember those scenes as he hit that final winning run. There'll just be that won't be that great delight at the end of it. Oh, he's aimed a drive at this one that comes back into him. He's dragged it down onto his foot. Almost left a gap there for Shaheen Afridi to find his way through, but Wokes survives, remains on 72. Broad has 7, and England need 13 to win. 13 to win. When Butler and Wokes came together, they needed 160 more runs to win. And Broad has also chipped in with 7. And now they find themselves...
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is an amazing performance. Absolutely. Shaheen in to Wokes, who leaves this one outside the off stump. That's good judgment from him. Shaheen not quite got up to his full pace yet. That was just 82 miles an hour.
History only,
and it's a no ball.
Wins. Oh Lord, that's one of them.
So England now need 12 to win. Every little helps, I'm sure, is what's going through.
You got a job with Tesco's,
not yet. That was a massive no ball. Oh, it really was.
Daft.
Time to go off a bad light, do you think?
Fortunately, the sun is out. It's one of those lovely evenings. He's in again, bowls, he drives, and where's that gone? It's gone square. He'll certainly get one. Mohammed Abbas swoops round and throws to the non-striker's end, but the big strides abroad take him home. And Wokes has 2 more. England have 2 more. They need 10 to win. It's going to be one of the most remarkable England victories of the modern era. It may even be one of the most remarkable victories of any era. To chase down 277 after conceding 107 on first innings. It's been a really tremendous performance. Wokes has been absolutely brilliant. He has to be man of the match if he carries England home here. If being the operative word. He's in again, bowls to Wokes, and he meets that beautifully, and that's a lovely drive straight of the man at mid-off. That is going to go all the way to the boundary. It's 4 runs for Chris Wokes. He goes to 78, and England to 271 for 6. They need 6 more runs to win. Hang on, Wokesy. Why don't you do it in style? Big hoik, big maximum. That would be fun. But that was one of his best shots today, and that was
classic straight drive, wasn't it? It's
it was. Shot. He's played several of those. I mean, he's played most of them squarer than that, but that really was beautiful timing. His timing today has been spot on. Generally
speaking. If only I could watch it.
If only you could watch it, Annie. Absolutely, yes.
Have you not
2 slips in the gully. Is it all over? Is it all over for Pakistan? Shaheen Afridi bowls him a short one. He pulls it into the outfield. He's going to get 1. Habib Ali comes round at deep mid-wicket, about 15 or 20 yards in from the edge, and they take 1 more. 272 for 6. What he's also done is keep the strike. Wokes has 79. 5 more required. Surely England can relax.
Well, Hawkster says, watching from Oz, only true Brit fans like me can question if England could stop this up, needing 14 with 4 wickets in hand. Well, quite it's right. 5 now. Toby Amadeo, Rockme Amadeo says, NC, state all the way, go PAK. Well, that'll be close. Dizzy Yates, listening to Guerrilla Cricket at guerrillacricket.com. They aren't geo-blocked, or he's advising people to do it. Thank you for that. Jamie McAllister, all streams are pretty flaky. Yes, we know. I think it's the heat. Why now, God? Why now? That's just the internet. That's
well, very sorry about that. We'd like to be able to...
I'd blame Boris if I were you.
Absolutely. I mean, what has he done to save us from this heat wave? Anyway, it's going to be Yasir Shah, 3 for 98 from 29 overs. He's going to be bowling to Chris Wokes. Now, what has he got? He's got a short leg. He's got a slip. And as soon as I start to bring you the field, they focus on the bowler, and I can't tell you any more. He bowls what I think is a googly. It's cut by Wokes, giving himself a little bit of room. Is there someone out there? Yes, Naseem Shah. They settle for the 1. 1 big blow would do it for England now. 1 boundary will give England success and an unlikely victory in a first test. It looked so much as if it was going to plan or going to schedule as far as England were concerned, with another defeat in the first match of a series. But they've turned this one around. Between them, Chris Wokes and Jos Butler have turned this one around, and England are on the verge of a famous victory. And
it does go along the same lines as we do seem to be doing better in our second innings for many, many years.
Yes, that is true. A little bit more gumption in the second innings. When it's been needed, the performances have come. Think back to Ben Stokes last year at Headingley. This is not one man's doing. This is much more the doing of Wokes and Butler. 2 men out, 1 at long leg, 1 at deep square, probably just in front of square. In comes Yasir, bowls. He's gone for the sweep. He's been hit on the pad. Is that going to be given out?
That's out.
Ooh.
No.
It is. I think it's out. He's been given. Yes. Broad has to go. Would you believe it? With 4 required, he couldn't just dab it into the onside. He went for the big shot, went for the big slog sweep, was beaten by it, and it's hit him on the back pad. He's been given out. Mohammed Rizwan was almost doing a Dick Weller there behind the stumps. And Yasir Shah has put the doubters among us into a state of suspended animation. Broad goes for 7. Balls faced 9. England need 4 more to win. Pakistan need 3 wickets to win. Oh my goodness, let's have a tie. I mean, they both deserve to win this test, I think. It's been a fabulous advert for Test cricket, and I, for one, would not be disappointed if this ended in a tie. Anyway, I imagine now that we're going to see Dominic Bess. And
how calm is his head, do we think?
Well, he's had to wait quite a long time, hasn't he? Wondering at the beginning of that partnership between between Butler and Wokes.
Wishful thinking,
perhaps. But yeah, he's on his way. He got only a single, I think, in the first innings. One that came off the glove, the shoulder of the bat, looped up to Asad Shafiq at slip. Chris Wokes has come over to him and said, "Look, for goodness sake, mate, just don't get out. Just don't get out. Don't waste my hard work." Dominic Bess averaging 24, a best of 57 against Pakistan at Lords. I think that might have been on debut in 2018. Anyway, he's come to the crease, the right-hander, and Yasir Shah wonders whether he can pull off one of the most magnificent pieces of cricket robbery at the very last. Dominic Bess is taking time to mark out his guard. What have we got? We've got a slip and a gully, we've got a forward short leg, got mid-on square leg, a shortish extra cover, a backward point coming in on the single, very much on the single. Azhar is just adjusting his field till he can get it exactly as he wants it. These are really tense times. What will Yasir Shah be able to magic up? He's got 4 for 99 now. He's coming in to bowl to Dominic Bess. It's a short one. It might have been the flipper. He was trying to force Dominic Bess into the pull shot, the ball that hurries on, but he wasn't having it. He watched it all the way, just got in behind it and defended it. That's good batting from Dominic Bess, showing an old head on young shoulders. Here is Yasir again. 3 more balls in the over. He's into Dominic Bess. Dominic Bess goes back to hit on the pad. Big appeal. Is it going to be given? No, I think it was a little high. They don't have any reviews, do they?
No.
They don't. So England can breathe a sigh of relief. Pakistan have used up all the reviews. Let's have another look at this one. He's bowling with a no ball. He's got a big inside edge. Huge. Pad. So even if there had been a review, Dominic Bess would not have been in trouble. He's in again, bowls. He wants to get forward. He wants to go down the wicket. Dominic Bess has to stop himself, has to wait for that. Guides it down into the gully where Butler Azam does the fielding. I think.
We know how to make this tense, don't we? God.
Certainly do. He was trying to leave that in the end, I think, and just got a bit of an under edge as he was trying to get the bat out of the way. One more ball for Yasir Shah with the new ball. He's been entrusted with the new ball. And he's in again. Best drives, but straight to extra cover. And that is the end of the over. England still need 4 to win. It's 273 for 7. And Yasir has given it everything today. He bowled almost unchanged, I think, between lunch and tea. And now Azhar Ali is having a committee meeting with a number of his...
Well, it's who's going to bowl the last over, I think, is what they're
trusted men. Yeah, you could be right. You could be right.
You're hoping it's the last over, Tony?
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, good point.
Shaheen Afridi will continue, and so it becomes incumbent upon him to rip out these last 3 England wickets in a spell to remember. Chris Wokes goes down the wicket and gives the pitch a little bit of a prod. Jofra Archer is sitting there. I think he may be trying to hide and say,
doesn't want to
don't do it. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to do it. I really don't.
I'll tell you what, if Shaheen gets a hat-trick this over, I'm going to feel really guilty for posting that picture of the office chair that has a face like him.
You are going to feel really bad, Tony. In comes Shaheen Afridi, bowls to Wokes. Wokes is driven, and that's gone away through the slips for 4 runs. I thought I was going to look up and he was going to have been caught, but he's found the gap and he's got the 4 runs. They give England a quite remarkable win by 3 wickets. The Pakistanis stand there disappointed, almost unbelieving at what has happened in this afternoon session after they seemed so close to victory with England on 117 for 5. But Chris Wokes didn't believe it. Jos Butler didn't believe it. Stuart Broad didn't believe it. Dominic Bess didn't believe it. Azhar Ali has got to believe it. Sporting moment there as Yasir Shah goes up to Chris Wokes. He knows that he's actually batted extremely well. It's an innings of his career really for Chris Wokes, I would say. Batted absolutely beautifully at times. It may have been forced into Butler and Wokes that they had to go for those shots after they'd seen that ball that reared up so horrifically to get rid of Ollie Pope. But from those early strokes, confidence grew. And although Joss Butler couldn't be there to see them through, Chris Wokes did deserve to be there and see them through, and he has seen them through in a way perhaps that he wouldn't have expected to. He was trying to work that away through mid-wicket. Maybe a third slip would have helped, but in the end they didn't have enough resources, Pakistan, and England have claimed a tremendous victory. What can you say to that, Tony? What can you say to that, Annie?
Who first? Annie? Ladies first, always.
Well, absolutely. Right from day one, I thought it was going to be Pakistan. But having said that, this morning I thought anybody's really, really hard to call. I thought, and it has been. Well, who'd have thought we'd have had that amazing partnership? I thought that was just an incredible partnership by the two of them. So I'm delighted. Of course, I am.
Yeah, and okay, England have won by 4 wickets, and it's a great victory. But Pakistan have played a massive part in making this a fantastic game. It sets the series up beautifully. I don't think that either of these teams will believe that they are that much better than the other. I would say that perhaps Pakistan have a bit more variety in their attack, but you don't necessarily need variety if you've got someone like Chris Wokes, who's bowled extremely well. He's batted absolutely brilliantly. He's being applauded off. There would be a standing ovation for him from a massive crowd, were a massive crowd allowed into the ground. I suppose that might be the only thing that he'll look back on and think, well, it's unfortunate there weren't 25,000 people there to see it.
I don't think he'll care.
He likes playing Pakistan, doesn't he? Does Wokes? On debut, his debut was at the Oval, but his highest score was, that was against India. Maybe I'm talking nonsense.
So you're just talking nonsense, basically, Tony.
I am.
Just
Old Trafford, his highest score was against Pakistan. Like that, I'm sure of. Was his previous highest score before today, obviously. That was,
against Pakistan,
58.
because he has got a Test century against the West Indies, I think it is.
Indeed, he has.
Anyway, so that is it, really. I don't know how your nerves are doing throughout that. Maybe some tweeters can express relief on behalf of England and disappointment.
Well, shall I take us through a few?
Yeah, take us through a few.
Give us something else just to calm down with now that we know that it's all over. England have won by 3 wickets. Yes, Jamie McAllister confirming all streams are pretty flaky. We know that. Jay Grover said, I said lots of mean things, mostly fictitious. Read between the lines, Somerset, CCC, QAnon. Don't know what that means. Messages.
They're batting again, by the way.
Messages. Test cricket, eh? You can do without ODIs, T20s, 100-ball bullshit, 3-cornered mayhem, but there is no life without Test cricket. I think
I'm with you all the way, Messi.
I want to ask you about that. I want to ask you about that tweet by Messages. Was that one of Messages' prepared tweets in case England won?
No, he made it back.
He made it back.
Oh,
he made it back. That would be great if he had forecast that this was going to be such a game. That would have been very prescient of him. I would have to say.
Zahir Clark, our resident or semi-resident statistician, has told us that if Pakistan loses, which they now have, of course, this would be their 2nd loss after such a healthy first innings lead. Wow, is that historically? I guess it could be.
Well, he's given details of that at the bottom of that tweet. 94 against New Zealand at Christchurch. Pakistan 344 and 179.
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand 200 and 324 for 5. Blimey, New Zealand chasing down 324, even more than England had to get here.
Questions will be asked in that Pakistan dressing room, I suspect. Gitson Gratz says, does Hot Mic work on the gramophone? It has. Hot Mic has been working, whilst other things have been falling down, I have to say. Spangly Sai, Pakistan can still get a hat-trick. No, they can't, but you didn't know that when you typed it. Wobble Seam, El Chopanos. Hello to you. The miracle is here. Yes, indeed it is. Neymar Butlins. I'm so excited that I'm going to donate money. Yes, please do, Neymar Butlins.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
Don't stop just because the game's over. We would be delighted, and well, we're always delighted to hear from you too, of course, not just you. We don't just want your money, well, Hendo does, but the rest of us are delighted with your company.
Yeah, I don't want your money.
Gorilla Cricket, what went wrong for Pakistan? What a question, said Prophet.
Butler and Wokes.
Let's just pause on that one, because it is actually a really good question. The reason we all thought it was nailed on was the wicket, the quality of the Pakistan attack, and all of those things in between, right? And yet it didn't quite work out. Why? I think they did lose their way a little bit, and there were 2 absolutely exceptional England performances.
Yeah, there were 2 great performances, and I think And maybe a bit of tiredness crept in. I felt Mohamed Abbas in his final spell actually looked a little bit weary. He was going wide on the crease a lot, which he rarely does. I mean, he does it very occasionally for variation, but I mean, he's normally metronomically close into the umpire, close into the stumps, relying on bowling straight, and a batsman maybe just misjudging something slightly. And I think he lost that a little bit. He lost his way a little bit. So perhaps an element of tiredness from Mohamed Abbas. Apart from that, I just think it was really good batting. I don't think there was anything else that you could say.
Old Trafford afternoon dip as well, I reckon, and the ball getting a bit not doing as much.
Well, it still did the odd thing. I mean, I think, and also that it was turning. Certainly Yasir Shah. I think you've got to look at it and say that Yasir Shah is a class above Shadab Khan as a leg spinner. Shadab is useful, but he's not very good yet. And I think that Yasir Shah is, genuinely good. He's picked up 8 wickets in the match. Could have had more. So I don't think Pakistan need to look back and think we lost that game. I think it really is a case of England winning that game.
There were just a couple of occasions I thought perhaps, Hendo, that they persisted for an awfully long time with leg spin at one end with Yasir Shah and then rotated the seamers, and I did feel a slightly longer period of the two spinners in tandem might have been an interesting way to go. I mean, it's all conjecture now. It didn't happen and England have won, but
you could also
it would have been worth looking at.
You could have also argued that Yasir Shah was a little bit tired as well. I mean, he wheeled away, didn't he, between lunch and tea, as you said, and they were tending to rotate at the other end. Yes, possibly. Because
a couple more tweets in a moment.
We'll come to that, but I just think that Woakesy was timing the ball beautifully off the quicker bowlers.
Right from the moment he came in, he looked really good.
He really was. More
Butler
tweets
too.
And Butler.
Yeah. But
I think that Butler had been in for a little while. He'd been in just for a little while, and Woakesy they gave each other confidence, didn't they? I think by the way they both played.
Yeah, it was a beautifully constructed partnership under very, very testing conditions, and they came through it. So, massive rounds of applause for that. Leah says, "Is this the most Pakistan loss ever?" Well, I think we just learned it's the second. One of two is from what we're hearing.
Yeah, maybe they lost it in the second innings when they were batting. Really, maybe they should have made a much bigger target for England to chase. Put England out of the game. I mean, that's the way we thought it was going to go yesterday. Once England lost their last 5 wickets, we thought Pakistan are going to bat for a day and a bit, and set a target that England can't get anywhere near. But Woakesy took wickets, Broady took wickets, Stokesy came in and took wickets. So maybe they're just a little bit complacent with that lead, having got that lead from the first innings.
Yeah, it could be. Annie, did you say you can or you can't see a TV at the moment?
I can't, no.
Well, if you could, you'd see Jos Butler sat in the mastermind chair, beautifully
looking happy,
those gimlet eyes,
those
that cheeky grin.
Eyes.
I'm sure he just sent a cheeky wink your way at the same time. So excited!
I'm sure he did. Yeah. He said, "Thanks for the support, Annie." He said.
I have no. Jay Grover had said, "Do not let Katie Walker near the fridge." I repeat, do not let Katie Walker near this. That's an in-joke, but we appreciate it, Jay. We know what you mean. Message says, well, Northants lost their last 4 wickets for no runs today, so it's doable for Pakistan. That was a bit. Obviously, all of these don't age well, or some of them don't.
Yeah,
Thank you all. I'm loving this test season.
They're doing well now.
We're glad you made it back, Messrs. Mark Zip, get in. The suffering was worth it. A very confused yard sale clientele at my friend Hillary's house is looking very strangely at the idiot sitting behind the LP table doing his nut. Brackets me. Thanks as ever for your efforts, Mark. We're glad you got to hear us during the yard sale. Hombre Nuevo says, big thanks, Gorilla Cricket, to the team as always. Yeah, thank you for your company. Anna Forsyth says, thank you all. Terrific work as always. Thank you, Anna. Jay Grover, I've no idea how that happened. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thanks for the coverage, folks, says Muckley. Love and sausages, kisses. Thank you, Mutters. Dipesh, what a game. Yes, it was. And Messages, isn't Joss still in deficit for the missed chances? And then he does put a wink type smile afterwards.
You might be inclined to give Jos Butler just a rest from the next test, because he's sitting in that little booth talking to Sky, and he looks absolutely washed out. He looks like he's got nothing left to give. I think there may be someone behind him working his mouth, because he looks absolutely absolutely exhausted. The eyes are not as gimlety as usual. They are.
Maybe it's
they
like
are
the
kind
Graham
of
Norton
blank.
chair, where suddenly you just get tipped backwards into a sort of
Well, I think that's what we should do. Yes,
a
absolutely.
paddling pool of gunge or something.
Yes, that's
Well,
right.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to go out for a drink tonight to
Oh,
celebrate.
you lucky person.
Wow.
You
We're going
lucky
to fire up
person.
the barbecue. I've got a beautiful parakeet nibbling at nuts in the garden.
You're going to fire at the barbecue and eat your parakeet.
Eat a
No,
parakeet.
the parakeet is already nibbling the nuts on the bird hanger.
Oh, nibbling the
and
nuts.
The barbecue will be fired up shortly.
I'm not sure you want a parakeet nibbling your nuts, but that's another story.